Let me know to switch over to happen.
We should be able to hear everybody now. I'm just working on colors. Green screens may just be sitting there this time because I was messing with HDR before, and that's.
Ooh, we got the little ACR, Joe. Okay. That's what's up. What's going on? Oh man, Campfire. Scream in the building. Oh man. Damn, I haven't talked to Scream in so long. Bullet away. What's up? Outstanding. Damn, look at these faces. Look at these faces. Oh man. I see Zombie, and I see giving an update, and I see Laxima. Back for dead. Wow, what's going on, bro? What is going on? This
hello, everybody. How are we doing? Apparently, we just need to wait a while, and then you guys show up.
I recognize some of these homies in chat.
Spotty said, Travis swoons. He said you forgot to mute the Warlock. Seize that man.
No, he's right. Although I'll give you this. The Warlock has the best Roman...
Star Wars drip?
No, their Star Wars is terrible, dude.
Titan,
the best Star Wars drip.
Titan.
No, dude, the Star Wars, they really did Hunters dirty because
yes,
literally they chose a type of character that never wears a cape in Star Wars, and then they gave it a cape arbitrarily. It is, dude. We're not even ready to talk about this yet. I'll do my full Star Wars. I'll do my full review of the Star Wars cosmetics. But
yes, we need that.
I have notes for sure.
We need that. The culture needs that right there. The Star Wars drip rating and review. I love that.
I'll do it because I'm happy to say that they gave me a couple thousand silver to buy the Star Wars stuff when it came out. Like Bungie was like, they like reached out to me and was like, here's some they did.
They knew.
They emailed me.
Like, this is how we get it.
And we're like, hey, we're doing Star Wars, and I went, okay, all right, I'll log on.
You guys gonna say Star Wars? Star Wars, they got you. All right, we're just gonna,
We got him. The GIF.
Oh yeah, we got him. It's GIF, not GIF. Please don't be one of those.
Sorry. I know. I haven't been around you in a while. That's what I know.
They're made up words, E. So anybody who argues over that is
one's peanut butter.
Rip it.
Scream.
All right. I'm just gonna hit record. Hopefully all this works. We just have green windows today because I messed with HDR. So at this point, it doesn't let me want to do chroma anything. So.
You good?
Oh man.
They'd be happy to see us.
So, Travis, you want to put your screen down since your room looks better? You're totally fine to do that. It's up to you.
Fine, where's that? He's cool where he's at.
Yeah. Wait, so you're going to show my green screen in the background?
It's just, yeah, you're going to have a green background. So if you want to just like lower that down, then.
All right, hello. I can't believe you made me drag this shit out.
I'm sorry. I've been like getting everything working in HDR and all this stuff.
This is professional podcasting.
Yeah,
that's what we do here.
Haven't had to worry about this in so long. So
yeah, we leave a podcast for 6 short months and look what happens. Look what happens.
It has been 4 saves. Oh, I got it.
You fixed it after you did all that?
Yeah.
You're fucking kidding.
No, you're good. Right. You two have a background, and no, you're good. You're good. No, you're good. Yours is fine. You both have a background, and I'm just the floating head. It's totally fine.
Wait, why don't I'll just pull it back up. It takes 2
you're
seconds.
Good. You're good. It works. It honestly works. So we're fine.
Yes.
Why do I look like I'm in a sepia filter though?
That's what I'm saying. You're coming through on Discord like. Yeah,
I look fantastic on Discord. I look way darker in this other window you have on YouTube.
SDR? That's not helping. That's worse.
Yeah, why do I look?
Hold on, this is the.
I look significantly brighter on Discord. That's all I'm saying.
That's better.
Put me on that reverse mode where the inverted, where all my skin is blue. You know that one?
Mm-hmm.
What is that? It's just they're opposite, right? It's just
opposite
reversing the color.
Oh, Spidey really misses you.
Cog, what do black people look like in that filter?
I have no idea. What filter is this? What are we talking about?
You know the one where it like
what racially insensitive thing are we discussing?
Yeah.
You know where it changes their color to the reverse, and so people look like blue.
So like invert?
You know that?
Like the invert joint?
Invert colors. What do black people look like in that?
I don't know. I don't mess with that joint. But that's actually a funny thought experiment. We need to find out. I have no idea.
Wait, do you have that filter, E?
It's a cool 19.
Recaster?
Yeah,
Can you make
let's see if I can just totally ruin everyone's day, please.
I'll look like an exo. It'll be fine. Wait, no, not an exo. An awoken. Wow, I really have not played Destiny in too long.
Travis is gone. Travis is just gone.
Dude, I'm a casual now. How crazy is that?
Cash. I'm not that far from
I
you.
don't
We'll
think
talk
I've got
about
that in OBS, so I wouldn't worry about it. So
Zombie, Lords, and Big Cash. Suddenly the Lord's Day. But shout out to Zombie. Salute. Cox thoughts on the Super Bowl. Yeah.
Okay.
I was conflicted.
I went for the Eagles.
It was hard for me to do that, but then
it was. My wife didn't want to either, but no.
I said, this feels good.
I was tired of the Chiefs, so it made it a little easier for me to be like, screw it, somebody else, and I'm
Chiefs
good.
beat my Niners. I'm not gonna.
Yep. And then the Swifty thing, and I'm like, I kind of need them to have some pain just to understand what that felt.
Yeah.
I didn't want them to have a three-peat. Just didn't.
Yeah, bro. They would have been popping off with one. But now we got to deal with the Eagles.
Gotta humble them. So.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, honestly, of all people, I was just happy to see Saquon Barkley just see his day because he had a hell of a season and that was pretty cool. So, all right, silence on the set. Let's get this thing going in 5, 4.
All right. It's been a long time, but we are live and welcome to the last word campfire. LordCognito, Ebontis, Ty Guy, Travis, fresh on that Thursday, kind of afternoon and kind of back podcast. It is good to be back and to talk with you guys, man. It has been a minute. The reunion long overdue because we just kind of left and didn't explain ourselves.
Yeah, I've had a lot of questions. I will be completely honest. So let me start with that.
Me too. Like every video I publish, every tweet, they're like, somebody's like, "Yo, what happened?"
No, so I kind of want to mention that to everybody. So for a while, obviously, this had been a Destiny podcast for 300 and some odd episodes because Destiny usually had something to talk about. We, stretched some topics longer than they probably should have been, but again, we always typically had something to talk about. Finally, it got to the point where Destiny was pretty quiet for a while. Then we had episode 2, which was here's 1 week, and then nothing for 5. Here's a week, and then nothing for 5. And we had some big gaps in there. And then pair that with these two guys getting busy. So then half of the time I was like, hey, I enjoy playing a lot of different things, and so do these guys. Well, part of the problem is Travis does Bitcast on Sunday, so that's his variety show. Cog does Duke and ILP, so he does it twice. So this was like a doubly extra add-on for Cog, an extra show for Travis. And when it got to the variety stuff, they're just talking about the same thing for the second or third time over and over. And it wasn't fair to do that to them. I don't typically have anywhere else that I'm going to do it. It's I did 1 or 2 solo, talked with somebody else for a podcast. But most of the time, for the sake of these two gentlemen, it was much nicer to them to not have them rehash everything over and over and over. So that is why there was a bit of a break in there. And again, this one may not be that common of an occurrence either. Just want to give you guys that heads up as well. Bringing everybody together at the moment worked for timing. Everybody's in town. I'm actually gone next week, so I can tell you nothing's happening there.
I think I know what you
can ask me after. It's fine. Anyway. So this is not the fact that the podcast doesn't exist. When there are things that happen in Destiny, we'll be around. Occasionally we'll still get together. It's not like the show is ending. It's just we'll be infrequent uploads. Sometimes you'll see some random stuff from me because I'm the one who hosts all this stuff, so it's just me using it as a platform. But that's kind of why there's been 1, a big gap, 2, we've been busy, 3, so I don't rehash everything over and over with these guys just to be reasonable to them. But we still love to chat and enjoy chatting with each other offline and still give each other a hard time in the Discord DM. So it's still a good time. So that's what the kind of news and update for the podcast would be. I wanted to get that out of the way first. Travis, how you been, man? You just got back from something really important.
Clunky. Nice to see y'all. It's been too long. Yeah, to E's point, man, Cog and I are just hella busy, and honestly, I've been avoiding this podcast because I had not been playing Destiny, and I don't know shit about the game anymore. So it's what am I gonna do on this podcast? Just I guess what I normally do, just distract you from any meaningful conversation with jokes and trickery. I guess is my usual.
That's what he's here for, just to see if he can keep me monetized or not.
I'm doing good, man. I just got back into the United States. Was in Japan for
that's
2
awesome.
weeks.
That is
Ooh,
awesome.
My
weeks, that's
honeymoon.
That is awesome, sir.
Was on my honeymoon with my
Nice.
new wife.
With your wife.
My new wife. Not my old
Oh,
one.
not the old wife.
Not
I
your
don't
old
know
wife.
about the old one.
It's your new
She
wife.
is dead. She is dead. Shallow grave.
I'm sorry for your loss.
Um,
Oh, okay, never
How's
mind.
married life been settling in, sir?
Really bad, dude. Like, I
Oh.
just what if that was my update? It's like, dude, like really rocky, like not going well. No, it's been great, man. I mean, it's you know, I married a nerd who's a workaholic and likes to play video games with me.
So you married
So
yourself,
awesome.
just in female
I
form.
pretty much have the best life, guys. I pretty much have the best life.
You continue to remind me of Barney when like he and he and Robin are dating for the first time, and they're just like, oh well, yeah, I'm just like better at relationships. And I love Marshall. He's just like, man, I've forgotten more about relationships than you know. I've learned or all that stuff. It's just so funny watching that back and forth. But
So funny.
no, I'm happy.
Yeah,
Well, I met Dee for like the first time we met. It took me about 30 seconds to realize she was the right person for you. It was so easy to tell.
Instantly.
Yeah, it was such a perfect
Instantly.
match. I was like, oh,
Yeah.
Travis is absolute chaos in a tiny little package, and there you go. That's the other one. So
He needs someone that's able to keep up with him
and fight
and go
fire back.
and
Yeah,
fight,
like
like that.
the
Yeah,
reciprocation.
perfect.
The reciprocation was real
Fucking
quick, and I'm going,
weird.
yep. Yeah,
Yeah.
she's
Yeah,
great.
she threw me under the bus in Asia, let me tell you, because for those who don't know, my wife is Asian.
Mhm.
All right. Well, didn't plan it that way. It just happened. All right. Just a coincidence. And she really liked to pretend to be a local in Japan. And then point to me and be like Gaijin, you know, at other people. So
Hey, I've
really
heard that
stood me
term
out.
before. There's a movie with that I heard it in.
She
One of your
didn't
favorite
like-
franchises.
Yeah, she liked to pretend she could just it's hard to, let me tell you, it's hard to keep track of your wife in a crowd in Tokyo. I'll tell you.
You stupid.
Oh man.
You can blend right in, dude. It's like with that X-Man.
You like if Cog and I were walking down the street, you couldn't miss us.
Yes.
On the other hand, and yet we could lose your wife. Like that's the funny
You
part.
could lose my wife, dude. She's 5 feet tall and she got black hair. I mean, she could just
walk away.
Blend right into the crowd. Really tough. No, man, it was good. Jokes aside, it was a good trip. I hate recreation. I'm really bad at vacation. This is actually my first vacation ever.
Wow, and legit, you didn't do it for work purposes.
I did not do it for work purposes. So this is the first time that has happened.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'm not good at it, but because I just don't know what to do with myself when I'm not working, and I'm very uncomfortable. But D really likes to do recreational stuff, and so I made it my job while I was there to just like learn all of the train routes and find all the stuff that she wanted to do.
You were the
and,
chief
like,
operations officer, and she was the chief
schedule
creative
it.
officer.
Right.
That's
I
how
was
that
like,
went.
hey, we have to get on this train by this time. If you want to get here, if you want to do that thing, she gave me a list of like 20
I'm gonna
things
be
she wanted to do in
picking
Japan.
your brain for the Lords we do TGS this year at Tokyo Game Show.
I'm not joking. I officially remember every train line in Japan now.
I love it.
Which if you've been to Tokyo, like there are a lot of train lines. Like it's like a lot. And I'm like,
well, they actually use public transportation. It's what a novel idea.
Well, yeah, also like I'm from San Francisco. The Bay Area has really good public transportation, and also people think our system is complicated. Their system is way more complicated than ours. But I was only there for like maybe 40 minutes before I intuited. I was like, oh no, I kind of get this. Yeah, they got kind of, that's their bar and this is their muni and that's their bus. I was like, all right, I got it. Like I'm used to this. But yeah.
Do you have any like one or two highlights of touristy things that you did get to do?
Any geek things you
didn't really
get to do?
much of the touristy stuff, to be honest.
Did you find like an awesome hole in the wall restaurant? Like, come on.
Yeah, we found like awesome curry place in Shinjuku, which was pretty cool. It could fit 4 people total.
The restaurant fits 4 people?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
That's wild.
I mean, that's like not even that. Like we have those in SF too, so that's like not that crazy to me.
It's crazy
But
to me. Okay, it's crazy to me.
Yeah. For you, well, you're in Texas where they have,
Yeah, I took Cognito
good.
to a grocery store, and he was just like, "What is this?"
Bro, I was like, why is your grocery store so huge? Like, what is this? Like,
Oh my God.
the selection. I was like, I'm not used to this.
Oh,
That
yeah.
was your like pharmacy or something. I was like, this is crazy to me.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, I was looking for something, and he was like, "Why do you?" I was like, "Why do you specifically want to go to like a pharmacy?" And it was more like kind of a bodega side corner. I was like, "No, we're gonna go to the grocery store, and you can go look at the aisle that has this stuff in it." So
Yeah, it's
that's
very
just-
different in New York.
Yeah,
we
that's
have to
very
go to a
different. Yeah,
pharmacy for specific things. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah, corner stores. I'm used to that. A bodega, like we have those in SF too. And by the way, they love those in Japan. My God, dude, they have 7-Eleven is like. Oh, by the way, you guys have played Like a Dragon,
Yes.
the Yakuza series.
Yes.
I
Did you
have
go
not.
to
Oh my God,
carbon copy?
it is the same. Like
I love it.
if you play that game right before you go to Japan, you'd be like, dude, hats off to that team because
the
they nailed
lore,
it.
the accuracy, the
It is
location.
so accurate. Even the food items. I thought some of the food items might have been exaggerated, but like their idea of a sandwich is like a really gross panini. Like they're so bad at any food that is not Japanese food. It's like really atrocious. It's like they're so bad at it. They have a lot of
pizza.
places.
Does pizza exist over
They
there?
they have spaghetti. They're like really obsessed with Italian food, and it's all like F tier. Like it's so bad. It's like do not touch it. It is so awful, like across the board.
Oh my God.
Funny.
I've heard like 7-Eleven is though like theirs is like better than like ours. Like they have the quality. Oh, that's over
dude. It's about the same. I
Okay.
mean, they have some more interesting food stuff there, but it's basically.
Is it Japan that has? I can't remember. Is it Japan that has like all the wild Kit Kats and there's some weird?
Yeah.
Okay.
They have the wild Kit Kats there.
I think
this is my fourth time in Japan.
I went with Teddy to like a candy shop in wherever we went. I met him in LA for last year.
Yeah. This is my fourth time in Japan, but the first 3 times I just went for a Tokyo Game Show and I stayed in a hotel and had a convention center, all that.
Yeah.
This was different because I was not like there to do work and create content, but also I was staying at an Airbnb in like the suburbs of Tokyo. And so I was living in like an actual Japanese house, experiencing like daily Japanese life. Like I got my clothes dry cleaned by like the old lady a couple blocks down the street. And like I was taking the subway into downtown and hanging out, getting to know my neighbors. The roofs, dude. I'm a giant in Japan. I was hitting my head on like light fixtures. The houses are so short, dude. The ceiling is like right here.
Cognito and I are going to need to go to.
I'm not that tall. I'm 5'8", and I felt like I was enormous. If I were taller than 5'8",
King's gonna get decapitated. King is just gonna get decapitated. Yeah, he's not coming out of there alive.
Like, how do you even live in this country if you are above 5'8"?
I think you have to get a different accommodation. Like you need to find a home that's a bit taller.
I think you just have to stay at a hotel. I don't know if they make, because I was not in a single building where I was like.
Thank you for saying that, because that's what I was trying to explain to them with the debate versus the Airbnb, and I'm like, we do realize we are big people.
But here's the argument for the Airbnb.
All right, break it down.
It feels so authentic. If you're in a hotel, you're basically going to be like living in America when you're at your house.
Right.
Maybe that's okay.
You might need to check the Airbnb settings to make sure you have like a ceiling height that's not like.
I don't know if they make houses that way. I don't know if they make houses that way.
Like, do we have tall ceilings? Not in Japan, we don't.
Yeah, not in Tokyo. They're space deprived. But I will say it was very authentic to be like in a tiny little corner. Just like our apartment was so small, but charming.
I was like, that's a cool way to see it for sure.
It was a cool way to see
an authentic experience.
Yeah, it was cool. Anyway, I don't want to bore you guys with my honeymoon, but it was sick. I'm really glad to be back.
Nice, good, man. And now that you're back, because obviously during that time, you were doing a lot of game stuff, prior to the. Yeah, what was you playing? I'm just curious.
Unfortunately, I am on a very long period right now of playing stuff that has a very long embargo that I can't talk about. Gotcha. So I'm doing a bunch NDA of like boys. I'm just under like probably 12 embargoes right now.
Gotcha.
Most of the stuff I can't talk about, but I'm doing a ton of stuff that's going to come out around GDC.
Ooh, nice.
I've got some stuff coming up in April that I can't talk about either. But like, I've been working on stuff. It's just a lot of previews right now.
Like, I know the release dates of stuff that's coming. So what I need you to do is blink one eye if it's yes, and blink both eyes if it's no. And I'm just gonna go down the line here.
This stuff is
I'm messing with
not,
him. It's just funny.
This is definitely not stuff that A, is coming out soon, or B, that you necessarily would have heard of or have on your radar. So it's just it's some cool stuff, some unannounced games that are going to be announced pretty soon. Some stuff that's like further down the road. I'm playing stuff. I'm doing previews. I also got some reviews coming up, and I finished some reviews before my honeymoon. But obviously, having 2 weeks off, I have this weird like gap in my review.
Yeah,
it'll be okay if you don't hit 25 this year. You're allowed to take one vacation with your wife.
No, I think I'm going to. I think I'm still going to.
I mean, you might.
I came out this year, like in January.
I'm sorry, I missed that memo. Did you? You set me up. Come on.
Good catch. Good catch. I like
that. Though. Also, Outsanity, I did go to Lawson, probably 50 of them.
Ooh.
That's their like corner store.
That's a lot. And they said Yokohama or Akibara. They're asking, did you go?
Yes.
Okay. Yes, it is.
He went to all the places.
All right. So yeah, man, for me, it's just like I said, it's good to be back, talk with you guys, busy as hell. You know, it's been a lot of preview events similar to what Travis was talking about. And in a good way. It's like obviously South to Midnight got a chance to beat an interview Compulsion, and then the head of Compulsion, which was super dope because get a chance to talk about the history and how like hard it was for them to kind of get things going since Contrast and We Happy Few, and then obviously the acquisition. So we had that, and I had a lot of good experience with that one level that we played at South to Midnight, which was awesome. Obviously before that was Kingdom Come Deliverance, which was a huge thing for Warhorse, and I'm so proud of them right now.
Yeah, they did like crushed it.
Yeah, 2 million, you know, that kind of stuff. So you got that. AC Shadows was another one as far as the preview event. It's been a lot of cool opportunities. So it's been a lot of playing things early. Obviously, Avowed was another one. There's been so many games, and as we know, you know, April's coming. You know, we got new Doom. We got the new It's so many games coming. So right now, it's just been a lot of planning, and then the fun stuff has been obviously the Road to Tokyo stuff that I'm doing.
I've seen you guys mess around with Crocs and everything. You're killing me.
Absolutely hilarious. So Trav would love it because our community is making us do things they know historically we despise. So I have been on public record saying this is the worst piece of footwear in the history of footwear.
The Croc?
I said
Pretty
many
bad.
years I would never be caught dead in these, wear these, whatever. So the community with their sense of humor, part of our Road to Tokyo challenges is have Cog and everyone and every single member of the IOP do something they can't stand. So I was forced to wear these, and then King threw sauce on it, made me walk like an idiot into a movie theater while he's filming me wearing the Crocs, doing all this type of stuff. So basically, it's been a humiliation ritual for all of us, of our community, and they are literally funding our trip to Tokyo. But salute to them, man. They've been awesome. We got King to eat a glizzy because I don't know if you guys are aware, the hot dog business is in danger. I don't know if you guys know this. The young kids have now called hot dogs glizzies, and because they call glizzies, it is yet to shame you for doing something phallic in nature, if you understand what I'm saying.
I mean, I get the concept of it's the same thing as eating a banana, but like, is that
they've gone extra hard?
So just like any food in that shape is as
just hot dogs specifically.
Okay, I thought the glizzy was going to be like the shiny from like just the cart hot dog or something like that. I didn't know it was more the shape of it.
So being that King also does not like that, so since he made me do that, my challenge was to go, okay, I'm going to make you eat a glizzy. I'm going to walk up to a random man at the movie theater. You're going to put your hand on his shoulder, and I'm going to have you look that man in his eye while you take the glizzy to the face. And that was his challenge because I know he couldn't stand that. So we've all got challenges that we all get voted on by the community, and we have to do it and then film it and then bring it to the realm. So it's been hilarious. So every month is a new Road to Tokyo challenge, and it's foolish, but it's fun and it's hilarious. So we're almost at our goal.
Nice, yeah. Sounds like you guys are working for that trip, but you know, gotta make the interesting moments happen.
Yeah, other than that, you know, as far as games and stuff, obviously beat Avowed. Like to say there. I'm still working on Kingdom Come Deliverance, and obviously touched Destiny, that game that we're supposed to be doing a podcast.
I'm sorry, what?
Finally,
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Can we talk about Kingdom Come Deliverance too? Because I'm addicted to that game.
Bro, that game is amazing. It is true. Like I could spend like hours making potions, blacksmithing, weapons. Like it is really like it is one of the most immersive sim I've ever played. And to see the level up, the glow up, and shout out to CryEngine though. Why is CryEngine looking so good though? Like it is really.
I mean, Crysis
amazing.
used to kill computers for a reason. It
Yeah,
used to be
bro.
the benchmark tool that would make everything top cards, 2 cards, all of them cry. So I mean, there's something there.
Yeah, because like all
Glad
the
they found a way to
NPCs,
use
you
it.
could tell they have a daily schedule. They go to work, they do it. Like it is super high. You could tell it's a very CPU intensive game. And the
believe
fact that the game still looks beautiful in spite of usually there's a sacrifice of trade. That engine is extremely flexible. But yeah, man, I love KCD, man. KCD 2 has been absolutely amazing. And the performances, Hans Capon and Henry and stuff like that. But yeah, I've been loving that. So I've been doing that in like bite sizes. But as far as Destiny, yeah, threw it back on and still like it. I mean, just I didn't know what was going on. I had to watch an E video to see what the hell's going on, and then I saw something happened to someone very major. I was like, wow. And
Yeah.
I want to comment about that. Yeah, I want to comment about
Travis,
that.
are you okay with spoiler discussion?
About Kingdom Come Deliverance?
No. Destiny when we get there.
Oh,
Yeah, but
yeah.
probably
Okay.
Why not?
I
Why
feel
not?
like it's been, I
Yeah.
mean, we're about to be in
I
Act
mean,
2, so I feel like we got to kind
How
of
much have I missed?
all
last
of
time I
Act. What
played
is the
was-
last? Did you finish
Finished Act.
Harris?
I finished. What was?
what the hell was that called?
Did you do with homegirl? What's her name? The conductor?
Oh,
Any conductor stuff?
yeah. I did the conductor, and then what was the season after that where we were making potions? I did.
Oh
Senate.
God, I hated that time.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
was
that was really
why
bummer.
can I not
I
think of
don't.
the
I
name
don't
of
know
it?
how that ended.
Because it was
I don't know what
Heresy,
happened.
Echo. What was the middle one? Revenant.
All right,
Thank you.
E, I don't know how the tonic stuff ended, so you got to educate
I don't know how
me
that
and
ended.
Trav.
I don't know. I don't know what
I
happened.
don't know what
to
happened at
the-
the end of that.
I don't know what.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened with the what's her face, Ekris or whatever.
Idol. What happened with Idol?
So that was the season of frustration, or the episode of frustration. Revenant was the one where we kind of going against Fickrel, and
Yes.
that
Who
basically
the hell is Fickrel?
he's the leader of the Scorn.
Remember the scorn?
Oh,
dude?
right,
Scorn guy with the big staff.
That's
Yeah.
the potion, that's the potion one.
Yep, that's the
Yes.
potion one. We ended up killing him in Act 3.
Mhm.
We think,
Okay.
maybe.
Okay. Again.
Mhm. Again.
Yeah. But at least it was more of like a death. And then in that moment when the Echo was like his staff was the Echo, when the Echo dropped, it was a combination of a fight, but there was like a kind of a standoff between Mithrax and Aramis. And then pretty much what it was is like, no, it's like you shouldn't take the staff, or I need the Echo or whatever. And you saw this like shadow appear behind Mithrax, and it was Nezrak.
He back?
He was well, no, like the shadow behind him, like he was almost like possessing Mithrax,
Possessing.
like Nezrak kind of wanted
Oh,
the
'cause
Echo.
Mithrax has been-
He had
yeah,
the Nez
Mithrax been
Cafe.
bugging.
He was basically like in his little Ivy hospital bed over there in the corner the whole time. And then basically what happened is Aramis picked it up. We have this weird kind of like visual throwback to Reese. And we're kind of sitting there with Aramis, a little bit of like dialogue. And then she basically just takes the Echo and blasts Mithrax with like the light of the Echo and cleanses him of Nezrak. So
Got it.
Mithrax is cleansed. She took
Got
the
it.
Echo back to Reese. Reese.
Okay.
Kind of the homeworld. And that's kind of where that ended. So more happened than in Echoes. Echoes was like, hey, we finally tracked her down, and now she's going to float away in the river.
Float
So
away,
nothing
off-screen
happened in
death.
that one. More happened in Revenant, at least. So that
started
was kind
that
of where that one
first.
happened. And then we got to the start of Heresy. And yeah, Heresy kind of got started.
Yeah, I started Heresy.
Yep.
And it was Drifter and Eris was like, yo, we got to go do this. And
Awesome
the
cinematic,
Dreadnought-
by the way.
Dope cinematic. And I'm
Yeah.
like, all right, we got to go do this. The Dreadnought. All right. Boom. We get there. And I'm like, hey, yo, we just killing Eris? Like, what is happening? Like, so
Eris gets, as they said on the live stream, she got shish kebabbed by a Dread Subjugator or whatever the other one is. Basically stabbed.
Now, here's my thing. And I don't know how you feel about this, E. This is like probably the second time they've done this. Like, I feel like with characters like Eris, you can't have no-name Hive number 5 killing Eris. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like
you kind of feel like did they do it to her before or when?
I feel like somebody else got stabbed out. I think it was Osiris.
I mean, Osiris got almost killed by an unknown knight, basically, because
it's like
he was in that bad situation.
I need it to be Savathun or something. You know what I'm saying? Like, I need a major name to do that or put that person in. And I just felt a little. Don't get me wrong. I'm always never going to complain that they kill off people because I feel like some people need to die in this damn saga. Like, that needs to happen. My issue just comes down to when you have these iconic characters. I'm not with like a random. That person needs to have a worthy.
Yeah, I would much rather see Zivo Wrath be the one doing the stabbing as opposed to random Dread person who picked up the Echo. And we don't know them at all. I get that. Yeah. It's like, I mean, if a Dread picked up and found an Echo and is now powerful, cool. We don't get an introduction to them until stabby stab moment. And then it's like, who is this? So it's not like there's a buildup of like, here's Daredevil and here's Fisk, which I want to watch that new, like, I gotta watch that. But there's no like buildup of who the hell they are. It's just like, here's a, big Dread enemy who stabs her. And then we think she dies, and then you get through the cutscene, and then you figure out she's in kind of a throne world-ish, which would probably due to her probably sometimes touching the Hive God level powers and that type of stuff. She probably has some weird thing. We don't know. She's just left there.
Yes,
so that opening cinematic of like her being stabbed, falling, and then she like wakes up. She's somewhere. We don't know where, and that's all. Nothing happened on that for all of Act 1. So she's been hanging.
Right. And I did like Drifter's, performance. I thought Drifter kind of was carrying things for the most part. You start to see a little vulnerability with Drifter, which was always cool because he always tries to play rough and tough and not hide his feelings for what do you call it, Stardust, the Moon Dust, or whatever he calls it.
Yeah, Moon Dust.
So that was cool. I thought it's absolutely hilarious.
Star Wars.
Yeah, correct. I thought it's absolutely hilarious that we go to Eris's flat. We go to Eris's apartment.
We go to her apartment
in the season, which I thought was hilarious. And you go and you do that. Now, I will say this. The thing that I did like, I can only pray briefly, but I do like that new activity. I think Travis would like the new activity.
The Nether?
Because the Nether.
I got tired of it.
Okay, so you play more than me. So I play what? So this is just me.
One time, but I was like, when I was going to do like the first day when I'd played it about 5 or 6 times to kind of check all and looking for things and making a guide. As soon as I did that, I was like, I'm kind of good.
You kind of good with it.
I was like,
I just like the fact that they attempted challenge in the sense of the health bar thing. There's no like, you can't, we're used to being strong and running around. Like, you got to go get health to stay alive. Typical health healing things for the majority don't work.
It was kind of funny. I saw different people have different opinions on it. No, but it was like when I went in there for like exploration, I went solo. And they're like, why would you ever solo that? I'm like, I've soloed it like 6 times. And somebody on Twitter was like, why? I'm like, it's not that hard. I was like, if you just play a little, but if you play a little smart, it really wasn't that bad.
You're a beast, though.
No. There are so many people in this game.
Shattered Throne, solo.
Do you have any idea how much of a schmuck I am compared to all of the elite players now?
Yeah, but you're talking about the elite amongst the elites.
At least Travis gets it. No, but still, that's kind of the idea. Is like, I'm mid-level and I'm sitting here soloing it, and it's like, if you're patient, it's not that hard. So just like, that's literally what I probably said in my videos. Like, take it slow, you'll be fine. Use a scout rifle instead of like a sidearm. Get a little range, and you will survive. It wasn't that big of a deal. Yeah, it's kind of one of those things it's not.
You guys talking about the new dungeon?
No, not even there yet.
I've missed all that. I don't even know what.
What are you talking about?
This is the Nether. This is the Nether, the new activity where you kind of have like Heresy. 3 different things that you'll go through. You get little mini like buffs as you work through it. It's like a mini roguelike kind of thing.
Yes, it's roguelike.
That's in there. They keep trying to do that. It's still not really heavy roguelite. There's a couple like, you have a chance to pick up something where if you slide, you do like a stasis thing or a solar thing. and then you can have more light damage, but you give up other. There's a little bit of give and take, and there's some minor buffs and some major buffs. I think one of my issues that I come to when I get to anything when they mention roguelike in Destiny, when you go through a run in Hades, you are a absolute animal by the time you are like, if you're 3 acts in or like 3 stages in, you are a beast. You are doing crazy attacks. You're doing all these things. When you get done with a run, it's like, I've got a little bit here. I don't feel different. I was like, I can go through and pick up things and text appears on screen and there might be a little bit of a change here or whatever it may be. But it's like, I don't feel that different when I do.
I would give you that. Yeah.
When I do anything in Destiny. So it's like, but I know also the way the game is made, so I know it's hard to do that because it's a completely different animal. But when you sit there and say roguelikes, like that's the whole point, is like as you're working through, you find more things, you get more powerful. We never get to feel that much more powerful.
Yeah, that's been a struggle.
That's been kind of one of the issues of mine.
Yes, I did that, and then stuff now with Sloane and taking.
Yeah, Sloane's back. She was fully taken in her armor, but then she's partially taken in one cutscene somewhere.
Yeah,
I will say what does I fully understand the reason for like the SAG negotiations on all that type of stuff. The missing voice lines, the missing voice lines. They turned on subtitles by default because there are no voice lines for quite a few places. So there will be points where you'll be like, it's silent and oddly silent, but it will just have, but they will just
like during combat or cutscenes.
Either like there can be like as you're roaming around on the Nether, there can be cutscenes, there can be like when you're in the like apartment and
text at the bottom of the screen.
Just text at the bottom of the screen and no words, no voice.
Bro, how did that make it into the game?
I mean, there's no I don't know. That's just what for the voice actors, they didn't want to either replace him or whatever they did. They just chose to put subtitles in there. So it's actually could be a reasonable story with the acting to go with it, I think, but that's definitely taken away from it, which kind of sucks.
Oh my God, that's so bad.
Well, and there was also a point to where, I don't know. So at the end of, I guess it's kind of whatever the end of the Act 1. Did you finish Act 1, Cog? Did you see the like Court of Oryx between the 3 hive chatting?
Oh no, I ain't there yet. Okay. No, I ain't there yet.
Yeah, there's a point where like they're on the Dreadnought, so you kind of get a point where Savathun's on one side of the Court of Oryx stairs, Zevo Wrath is standing on the other, and you have like a projection of Oryx, and they're kind of talking to each other.
The part where I'm at, Savathun was like, I was getting there. And she says, "Get out of here, Garden. You ain't got. This is a family thing. Get out of here."
You're close. You just need to kind of wrap that a little bit up. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
And I think that might have been related to the exotic quest because we got one of those that's part of it. And there's been a few pieces. That part's actually cool because
Can we go back to the silent movie thing. What?
It's a thing
to me. I get
subtitles just appear on screen and there's no voice to go with it. It can be.
I get that they didn't have
jarring
access to voice actors because of the strikes.
Mm-hmm.
But was it a conscious decision?
Yeah. So somebody in chat saying Bungie said they could have done AI or replaced the voice actors, but they wanted to respect the original actors, so they didn't replace them and just chose to kind of respect their like strike at the moment.
So, are the things that are written in subtitles canonically being said by the characters, or did they just forget to take them out? And
no, that's like part of the story that are being said in subtitles. There's just no voice to go with it.
So here's the question.
That's so bad.
I know. These things have been already voice recorded. Help me understand the logistics.
No, I don't think they were. Maybe when they wanted the recording, they weren't able to get the voices recorded. Because there's some lines that are, some lines that aren't. There's some that's like hit or miss at times. And I don't know if it's certain characters that weren't able to, or when they were trying to write something or go record somebody, the strike was active. Maybe they got some stuff before. It's hit or miss a lot of the time. So it is also like inconsistent. It's not all the time.
Yeah, it's not all the time.
Yeah, or every character. It's some characters and it's hit or miss and it's just a mix.
Oh my God.
It's
Why
a
wouldn't
silent
you just
movie.
come up with a different way to tell your story? They could have like had a different character be the narrator and like, describe it in a different way. Why just do like, that's a crazy thing to do. That's crazy. There's just subtitles.
Even in orbit, you'll even be in orbit and there's like just subtitles showing up on the bottom of the screen. I'm like, I have no idea what's going on.
There's not like a narrator reading it or anything.
No.
And what's weird is not everyone, because Savathun I can hear, and
heard Savathun.
Like
so Deborah
now we know who didn't make it into SAG, I guess.
Yeah,
I was gonna say there is a bit of that. The voice
Yeah.
actor for Oryx, by the way, did a great job when you do hear Oryx speak. Oryx actually have more
Oryx,
of a,
Oryx
has a voice actor now. Yep.
Oryx has a voice actor.
Well, I remember he had a voice actor in the original, but
it was
like
like just barely, just like, oh, it was like nothing real.
I will take them all. That's all I remember.
Yeah, it was like that was it.
Him.
Yeah, so that could have been like some guy on a microphone like making a scratchy voice. This is legit like dialogue and stuff, which is better. I will say it gets to a point in that scene though, since I don't know when Travis is going to get to it, and Cog, you'll get there soon. But the idea is Oryx being now this kind of projection, apparition, part of the Dreadnought, whatever he is, from the discussion between Savathun and I just said
Wait, they're doing the ghost thing again?
He's kind of here, but kind of not. But he's like
part
of the Dreadnought.
It's just the season of the Haunted again.
Savathun, Oryx, and Zivu. They're all talking. Savathun is basically saying, screw the sword logic. Oryx actually respects us as the Guardian for killing him. And he's like, you guys should be the one who takes my, takes over for the sword logic. And Zivarath is like, what the hell? Zivu's pissed. Zivu's like, no, this is mine. Screw you. Screw everybody. Like, Savathun, you're wrong. Guardian, you suck. This should be mine.
Is she not voice acting? Is she not voice acting?
Yeah, I've heard her too, I think. Again,
she crazy. She wild crazy.
Yeah, she's had some good moments too.
Okay.
Yeah, Oryx is like, Guardians killed me?
By the way,
that's cool.
Oryx is correct. And Guardians are doing sword logic effectively.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So that's kind of I was like, all right, Oryx, sticking to your guns. I kind of like it. So he was like, hey, Guardians, here you go. Like,
he's being intellectually honest, and we appreciate that about our Dark King.
Yes.
Not you, Cog. I meant Oryx.
Yeah. So that was, I was like, so in like a situation where you've got Eris in this like unknown world, you've got the Dreadnought with some decent exploration, you've got Savathun, Eris, and all of this stuff going on. And unfortunately, you are in this moment where you are missing voice lines. I was like, you have what could be a cool story going on with like gaps in the dialogue, and it is unfortunately it kills me sometimes. It really does.
And this is stuff that Hive let's be honest, we all know Hive is the best storyline.
Yeah,
like not all the races. Let's be real. You know what I'm saying? It's not even close. But so I did want to see, because this was the part of Final Shape that I felt was looming in the unresolved issues with
the aftermath, and it took us a year to get here.
Literally not a part of Final Shape, but I'm like, okay, we just got a major character on the bench during the major saga, so I would have loved to see this and hear all three of them kind of interacting. But
so I was like, I am intrigued to see where all this goes. I was like, of the three so far more intrigued. Score, and I was like, you're fallen zombies, it's fine. It's like the Echo for the Vex was totally just a nothing sandwich, I'm sorry, or nothing burger or whatever. That one was painful. When I got to the end, I was like, oh. And then at the end of Echoes, the first episode, we're running the exotic mission like 6 times, and by the time you finally see the end of it, you're like, I am so done. So this one so far has been
for. Yeah, which the one that you ran 6 times before that I missed out? Oh, was it Choir of One?
That sounds right. Choir of One was that.
I did that one. Now that gun is actually good, but it wasn't worth 6.
No, it wasn't all that stuff. So we got an exotic quest.
Sorry, break it down. What's going on?
So this was for the circular SMG thing, the big round one.
It looked like a Star Wars death ship. It looked weird. Like
it's called Barrow Dyad.
Okay.
But yeah, it's that it looks like you're holding a circle. It looks like a sphere.
Yes. It's an SMG? What is
exotic strand SMG that creates large amounts of blights when you're hitting more than 3 different targets, and then and it auto refills its own ammo. So if you fire in pulses, like it's sitting there reloading pretty quickly. So unless you just fully unload, and then finally you get to a point to where you'll kind of have like fully charged up your meter, and then if you reload, your next thing that fires, you're just gonna blast them with blights. It's actually kind of a cool gun.
Kind of cool. Kind of reminds me of Final Warning a little bit. Sound like a little bit,
but feels better. Yeah, it feels better than that in my opinion. Okay. Final Warning always felt like
a little felt off. Yeah, a little. It's a Titanfall gun. That was a Titanfall. They literally stole that from Titanfall.
Yeah,
they did with that one. All right, so what else? What else we got?
And
how was the quest? How's the lore? Was it satisfying?
It was more of like platforming, and then I don't remember who you fight in the end. It was just like 2 different. It was kind of interesting. but like the lore there wasn't a lot there. It was more the quest. Not saying there's not lore on the gun. I'm sure. I think Bive lost his mind about the lore on something. It either was that or the dungeon exotic. I can't remember which one he lost his mind about.
Yeah, because I heard we went somewhere with Roke, and there's some Roke stuff that I was very interested.
That one I might have missed. About. So chat might.
Yeah, something happened with Roke, and we learned something that in some one of them dungeons. Oh, so you missed it too.
No, like I did the opening encounter of the dungeon. I got to the second encounter. I watched the stream. I haven't soloed it because I was busy doing about 6 other things too.
Of course.
So it's just one I haven't put the time into, but it's also a frustrating second encounter to solo personally. One, because I'm a hunter, so I'm not optimal to just like kill stuff and stay alive.
You're still a hunter.
Yeah, I don't want to spend the time to take my Titan all the way through like Final Shape campaign. I cannot be bothered with that right now. It just doesn't feel like a great use of my time.
For real.
Yeah, I have been a hunter since Final Shape came out, so it has been.
Last word's complete. We're all our classes. All 3 classes represented.
Got them all represented now. Again, not representing hunter well, but representing. So yeah,
I feel like all of our classes are wrong for our personalities.
In a way, yes. Like, that is accurate.
I should be the Warlock.
I should be the Titan, technically.
You should be the Titan.
And I'm the.
But he's not a hunter, though.
Yeah, I think you're right.
I don't think
maybe I should be the hunter. Should I be the hunter? Who would be the Warlock?
Who would be the Warlock? It's not me now.
The guide maker? I don't know.
Yeah. I could kind of okay.
I'm the one filling you guys in on the game as we speak.
Yeah,
so
you have some scribe sensibilities. Yeah, you do.
And I do have a squirrely, sarcastic.
Yeah, you fit along with Cade. You would sit with Cade at the table.
Yeah, snarky, rebellious.
Cognito's up there on the line. Cognito's up there on the line with Zavala, just button shoulders, and then I'll go hang out with Ikora.
Yeah.
So
those would be our alter egos. I like that.
Yeah.
I like
we
that.
got our class that we play and our alter ego.
Yes,
our people are known to be sneaky.
Yes,
hunters. I mean.
Yes, I see what you did there, sir. Thank you for that double entendre fun. Appreciate you.
Capes are practical though.
Oh my god!
Oh, exotic mission so good. Have you seen Orson Krennic lately? That drip.
Oh, the drip. Oh, yeah, we got to get to the drip review soon. But before we get to that, I do have to ask 2 more lore questions because I haven't played this game.
Oh, I don't even know if I can answer them, but yeah.
So again, we got the rogue stuff, and then there was 2. How many dungeons did I miss?
1 dungeon. Pretty sure just Sundered Doctrine. So that was where we were. That was the mind game that Eris was kind of playing. We had the symbols from Rolk's pyramid ship where we were. We went into the pyramid ship in the throne world. That's where the dungeon actually took place. Had a lot of those symbols, but when you were going through and doing the encounters, it would be like 2 truths and 1 lie kind of thing.
Yes.
And it would be the symbols that you were seeing is like Guardian kills Traveler, and you're like, well, that's not right. So they were actually messing with a little bit of the lore. So if you could go into the rooms and figure out what symbols need to be active, whatever. But if you actually knew the lore, you could kind of glean some of it on your own to figure out what was supposed to be correct.
Got it.
So those were kind of cool plays on it. The first one is honestly like Indiana Jones. You are getting light into the room and you are bouncing light off of plates to get into
got it.
One of the rooms for symbols. So you gotta basically go kill an enemy that's holding the lens, place the lens, turn it wherever you need to, and you got to do it for 3 different rooms. And once those are all lined up, then you do it like phase 1, phase 2, phase 3. I did that encounter, soloed it. It's annoying and tedious, but I did it. As a group, honestly, none of the stuff I think would be too bad, just solo. The second encounter, there's a lot. So the second encounter, you're not actually fighting one enemy. There's like 4 big shriekers on a wall. And then they're going to look at like a wheel with symbols on it. And then whatever symbol is selected, they're going to like lock into their, I don't know, their little, I don't even know what to call that damn thing, but they lock the symbol in, and whatever symbol is locked in basically tells you what's going to spawn. Is it an ogre? Is it some wizards? Is it the stop button? So you get nothing to spawn. And then when it reads the 4 symbols, when you're done, wherever the kill symbol is, that's when your damage phase starts, and then it goes as long. So if you get the kill symbol on the last one, you get like no damage phase. But if you get on the first one, you get a really long damage phase. So it's like, it's a cool encounter, but there are enemies spawning like the whole time. And then the symbols, you might lock him in, but then if they hang there too long, then they're going to switch. So it's kind of managing all of that. I haven't really dug too much into the third encounter just because I haven't even really been there yet, just because I spent some time learning the second one. I think it's a decent dungeon to my understanding. I
Decent.
don't think it's like everybody's favorite per se.
Right.
Whatever, like Vespersos last time was like I think a lot of people's favorite and enjoyable.
That was the last one I done.
Yeah, that was the
Yeah.
space one. So
Yeah. Space one.
so dungeon was cool. That race was pretty decent. I think it was I don't remember how many hours, 5 or 6 or so kind of thing. It wasn't quite as long. PlayStation Network was down. Yep.
Yeah.
PlayStation was down for that and also the first Monster Hunter beta. So Monster Hunter got another day. They put another day up for, I think it was like February 22nd. They did another day for contests. If you were able to beat it on contest during that extra day, you were able to get that emblem, which totally fine with. I have like 500 emblems. I am so tired of emblems. Not much of those really incentivize me that much.
I ordered the hoodie. I'm waiting for my hoodie.
Which one?
Isn't Vesper got the hoodie?
That's the one I want. It's like the black one with like the little piping on it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I kind of want to get that one too.
They emailed me an update.
Oh, you can order that thing up until like May or whatever, so I wasn't like rushing to order that one, but I do want to get that one. And I think that mostly covers what has happened thus far. Then on Tuesday we got the preview stream with Andy running another great stream.
Hold on, we got to stop you right quick. I was very proud of you, sir. Very proud of you. So I caught up to the stream, and first of all, I love Andy. Travis the one that put me on to Andy, telling me, how the guy plays Destiny. Now he's, I guess, what is his official title? Is community manager? What is he?
He's got to be more than that. I don't know. Let me look.
He's got to be something bigger at Bungie now, because he's like the new Deej. I love the way
he basically
runs
the streams and everything. Formally,
extremely knowledgeable.
Senior social media manager.
Yeah, you could tell he plays the game. So I'm watching it, Trav. All right, let me catch up, see what Destiny's gonna do. And then I hear my man get the shout out. Andy shouted out Ebontis, because you make great guys like Ebontis or something. I was like,
he was like, I think he was talking about the new activity, which is going to be the Court of Blades, a little bit more of the roguelike, picking up things. And it seems like a really short encounter. It's like a 10-minute activity or something.
Yeah.
We're going to have new weapons for it, but it's the Court of Blades and going into little quick encounters. One of them was like an old, almost where an adventure took place on Io. It's like I recognize that encounter, and there were a couple others. And he was like, if somebody will be making some creators will be out there making guides, maybe like Ebontis or something. I'm like, wait, what?
There we go. Pay damn homage. I love to see it.
Hasn't he talked to us on Twitter?
Can't remember.
Yeah,
I've talked to him on Twitter a couple times
after an episode and was like, that joke made me laugh or something like that.
It was super cool to see, man.
I caught up with him. I met him at GCX at one point.
The Smallin.
Oh, the Smallin. I do remember somebody talked to you about that.
Having separate schools or something like that.
Yeah, you definitely gave some Smallin. Yeah, he gave
I think he commented on that. Was like, dude, that killed me.
That was hilarious. Yeah, he's that was dope.
I caught up with him at GCX the last time I guess I went, and he was there, chatted with him for a minute, and then we like diverted and started talking about F1. So just a really nice dude, but also I like his personality on stream. He gives a good energy to the stream.
Oh, so great energy. Yeah.
So they covered Act 2 and Act 3 both. So we got quite a bit of information for what is coming. And first is the Court of Blades. So we're going to... The Echo of the Navigator was certainly impressed. So the Echo, so that's the Echo... I don't know if that's Oryx or somebody else. When he found out you defeated him, so he wants to test you in the Court of Blades, the new activity in Heresy Act 2. Players will fight through arenas of enemies with escalating difficulty and to compete for the mantle of the Taken King, using runes to uplift their playstyle and push through challenges. I mean, it was a short activity. It was like 10 minutes. So it's going to be, this one feels more strike-like as opposed to these like 30-minute runs that you can go on or whatever. Some of the Nether ones, Nether with a group is probably like 30, 35 minutes. If I do a Nether run solo, it's like an hour. I can do it, but like, it's like there's a lot because you have 3 different encounters. You got to run around and check all the boxes, find what's there. There's all. Now I will say the thing about Act 1, they showered the crap out of us with loot. I have so many guns from so many, the runs I was doing on the Nether, trying to make the videos for a couple things. Chests are everywhere. Every time you do an encounter, you get a chest. Every time you finish one, you get a chest. Like weapons are dropping. There's a lot of loot. So even though there's not crafting, there's a lot of drops. So you got to be probably pretty close to what you're looking for so far.
Yep.
We're going to be getting 5 new weapons, pretty much the rest of the arsenal for Act 2. Act 2 is 3 weeks long, so it's a quick one.
It's a short, yeah.
And then Guardian Games also starts on Tuesday. So they're going to give us both. So Court of Blades, I feel, is going to be kind of smaller because that's going on same time as Guardian Games. They're going to be split in between both. Heretical Arsenal has a glaive, fusion rifle, SMG? It looks like one. Sidearm, and then a bow. The bow can get your fun void perk combination of destabilizing and repulsor brace.
Shout out to destabilizing rounds actually being kind of more effective.
Yeah, that got a buff too. I actually saw ElGato did a video. He's like,
yeah, I agree. Yeah, it's really good because that was long. Void always felt behind the other two, and I want to shout out what you call it, the new, what is it, the rework to Arc, which what is it, this bolt charge stuff? I kind of like it.
Oh yeah, the bolt charge. Yeah, so Arc got a new thing to where it's like an addition on top to give Arc a little bit more. So as you're doing certain things with Arc, you're building up bolt charges. And then if you get up to, I want to say it's 10, if I remember correctly, and some things you can do can accumulate them faster, your next ability that you throw drops a big lightning bolt on them for damage. So it's in a way to kind of do more. I know the Titan one would probably be cool. I've heard it was busted for a while in PvP because you would stand by your barricade, and then when you were firing, you're just doing like lightnings probably. I think it was broken. I never really dug too much into it, but it seemed like it would be broken, and it sounded a bit like it was.
Hell yeah, Zombie Chaos Reach Geomag is back. Yep, we back. I was playing that. Yep.
Oh, Wilhelm Scream wanted me to explain something. So in F1, he's asking me to explain porpoising.
What is that?
So do you know what a dolphin is? A porpoise? Does that make sense?
Yes. Yeah.
So basically what happens is, and it was like if you watch like Lewis Hamilton, there was a point where the car setup is so stiff that as the suspension has such little travel that they try and make it like those things are glued to the ground anyway. That's the whole point. But they can't get too low, otherwise you scrape the bottom, and if you lose too much of that bottom plate, scrape off.
Porpoise.
Anyway, the idea is like the back was like bouncing so much, like they're driving down a straightaway and almost the whole car is bouncing. But if you imagine how stiff an F1 car is anyway, imagine what these guys' backs and spines are doing while they're just taking that beating all the way down. So porpoising is just that ability for the car to get unsettled, but then never really settle for like way too long, and it slows them down. It's very inefficient. So not the best explanation because I looked into it before, but yeah.
And Scream is raving about Trials of Osiris. I heard it.
Okay, so whatever happened when Trials launched,
we gotta aggravate Travis.
No, whatever happened with Trials launch, when people were going to the lighthouse, it was like I got like 4 pieces of armor and 5. It was exploding in loot. I don't even know what happened. People were going to the lighthouse, and I'm forgetting ground effects. I'm forgetting plenty of stuff. Scream. I'm trying to move forward, but. And again, I don't remember all the details. I looked into it before, but yeah, Trials exploded loot from what I heard. Whenever Trials came back after a week or two, you know, in the episode, whatever rework they did to loot and whatever card it was, kind of, I just saw people go to the lighthouse just like on the side of the screen, just exploding.
Who's hitting the lotto down?
I don't know, man. Lighthouse seemed to be the way to go. If you could get there, you were swimming in loot. So it seemed to be.
I heard like you could just go, you just keep trying and you go. That's the new joint now. Like, you just keep
There's
on.
Like a different card where you eventually can't, like even I eventually might be able to get to the lighthouse, but it wouldn't be a flawless pull. But there's something kind of like that. Yeah, you only need 7 wins now. So it's...
oh man, I want to see Travis' reaction to this.
I think he's given up on Terry.
Because the last time folks were stoked about Trials changes, I was on the side of like, I don't like these. So
I don't think you go like this.
Yeah. Is the idea that it's super easy to get to Trials, the lighthouse now, and you go, I'm just like, Also, I sucked at Destiny PvP for like the last 2 years I played the game. So just it's one of those things. If you don't play it every day, also I'm losing feeling in my fingertips for several years now. So I'm not like as elite as I was in my younger years.
I feel you. What other updates they had on the stream and stuff?
So Act 2 was, I think, mostly that. We've got Guardian games, we've got Court of Blades, they've got the artifact perks, which is going to be all about trace rifles.
Microcosm about to cook.
Yeah, you got Microcosm. They're going to do another trace rifle for Guardian games. That one had the potential for like, what was it? I think it was a combination of like jolting feedback and triple tap or something on a trace rifle, which I was like, it sounds interesting. Trace rifles never really quite did it for me, but we'll see. So Act 3 is actually where it kind of got interesting. 1, the Sunless Cell, they're reprising that strike.
Man, which one was that? I can't remember.
Sunless Cell, the one in the dark in the pit against Alakul with the where you could get his
light blade Alakul.
Yeah, light blade.
That pit, that strike was hella cool.
Yes.
So that one's getting reprised. Somebody in my chat was saying that there were only 5 GMs listed, so I think that's going to be one of the last Grandmasters that's available. I don't think it's going to be Alakul though, because I'm pretty sure he's toast by now. So I think it might be Lucent High, they might have said. I could be wrong. So we'll see what's hanging out down in the pit down there. We are getting a new PvP mode. It is called Heavy Metal, and it is a team of Briggs versus a team of Drake tanks.
I'm Team Briggs. I won't be Titanfall.
Titanfall versus. So this is a PvP mode, and it is if you can either fight in Briggs,
as a Brig,
you are a Brig or you are a tank. Like
I remember tanks have been in the game for a while, but were you ever able to play as a Brig before?
That is new, brand new.
That's Titanfall, son. Stand by for Titanfall. We ready.
Titanfall, basically, it's Titanfall.
We could be the Brig team.
I turned around for 1 second in Titanfall, or Destiny just became Titanfall.
This is it, Trav. We back, baby.
I haven't been gone for that long.
Here's the line in the tweet.
Like, this is an insane thing.
If you didn't catch it on the live stream, we're wondering how many of you Movie of the Week submissions in the future will be a 360 no-scope from a flying Drake, because it looked like the tank had like this like booster. There were a couple ramps on little mountains, so they were like flying in the air and doing stupid, crazy stuff. So,
bro, we got a new PvP mode.
We still don't have exotic game code. We still don't have exotic game, exotic gun game or whatever it is. I still want that to be a thing.
I mean, I'm glad that they're trying new shit.
They're trying new stuff, man. Trying new stuff. We got to see what's going on.
Good. Make Crucible weird. Add
exactly. Bro, this reminds me. What was it? Was it Combined Arms?
Yeah,
and
those Combined Arms. That was the old one with like sparrows and
sparrows and stuff. Look, man, I can't be here. I gotta support. Where does it drop? That's 3.
That's Act 3, which is April 1st, by the way, because Act 2 is 3 weeks long, and then bam, we're right into Act 3. Now, the big thing for Act 3 is something called Rite of the Nine. So this is an event that is free to all players. So whether you own the season, episode, or whatever it is, everyone will have a chance to experience a new twist on 3 classic dungeons. So we're going to have Prophecy, Spire the Watcher, and Ghost of the Deep. So players will have a chance to jump into a Learn As You Go Explorer mode. Now, the Explorer mode, they actually walked up to some node in the first encounter of Spire the Watcher, and it says, look for like connecting the wires. It tells you like the encounters you go through it.
That's cool.
So it like will literally explain the encounter as you're in it. It'll give you like kind of directions as you go through. You guys remember Inspire
onboarding?
Onboarding new players. Yeah. So do you guys remember Inspire the Watcher? After that first encounter, you drop down, and then there's like that really open space with like some long kind of platform jumping a little bit in there. There are platforms if like way down below. If you fall, you can get on those instead if you fall, and then work some of your way across. So there's little helper platforms in the Explore mode. There's going to be a normal mode, which is called Eternity, I think. And then there's a higher difficulty, which they're saying is going to be close to Contest, and that's going to be Ultimatum.
For the hardcore, okay.
Now, what I thought was funny, and I didn't even think about it until I like was trying to catch up on some of this. I was like, Dato's video. He's like, so we just got like advanced expert mode. We got these difficulty names where Destiny's picking the difficulty, and now we've got Explorer, Eternity, and Ultimatum, making it all up again. I was like, yeah, that's kind of a point. You could have just done like advances, like I don't know. So, but you know, we're gonna have new weapons that are going to be coming in with this as well. So those are going to be. I feel like they're
kind of doing the onslaught thing, like where they're doing the.
Yeah, you're going to be attuning to the weapons. You go into the space where the Trials of the Nine, you're going to talk with the Emissary is going to be your vendor with 1 sock still. And you got like 16 weapons or whatever up there, and you can attune to those so you can get them more frequently. And then you've got your chances. But again, you have a chance to go through a dungeon, potentially tuned with tips and everything like that. So I will be curious how they're tuned will be my biggest thing. Because if they're easier than normal, if the biggest thing for a solo for me has always just been health scaling. I don't care as much about the mechanics. Learn the mechanics, understand that's part of a dungeon, but health scaling as one person never always felt quite right. But again, they have 3 different difficulties. So if you want to go, go to crazy mode and do contest, you'll have ultimatum as well. So it's not going to be like a dungeon race. I don't know if it's going to be a featured dungeon each week or if it's going to be all 3 and you kind of go through a gauntlet. I'm not quite sure. I feel like it's going to be 1 a week, but
it was that old Trials of the Nine starting location, and they had they showed like a silhouette of the dungeon that you're doing in the background for the week, which is kind of cool.
That's it. So it is a weekly thing.
Yeah.
Featured dungeon a week because it was like the silhouette of the spire out there. Ghost of the Deep. I don't even know what they would put out there. Oryx, a visage of Oryx or something.
Yeah.
And then Prophecy would just be like the big pyramid that you fly into in the end, I would guess. Yeah.
That's what's up.
So, I mean, for a stream, they don't have to do another one. They covered it all here. But I think for what's coming, should be interesting. Dungeon, an easier way for new players to get into dungeons seems kind of cool. Sunless Cell coming back, a random strike in the middle of an episode. I mean, I'll take another strike in the game. It never hurts. And then goofy PvP. It was like, I'm kind of okay with all this. Like, I don't know how much it's going to keep me around per se, like long-term playing between everything else I'm playing, but not bad content to my understanding. From what I can tell.
Not bad. Look, they're treading water. We know times are tough out here,
Yeah.
but at least they're trying new things. I'm willing to at least give it a shot. See what I really like the PvP mode. It was goofy. It was something new.
That was ridiculous.
And I'm like, hey, goddamn it, we got a PvP mode. That's all. I just want things like that, every once in a while. So we'll see. I'm actually curious about. I know this is unrelated, but I'm actually curious about marathons. We know a lot hinges on that, and I care about budget. So for me, it's just more about like, please land marathon so this thing can exist, so Destiny can continue. Because as far as I'm concerned, like Destiny's in a holding pattern, as far as I'm concerned, and I think all resources are there. So it's kind of where I'm at. So I got to support, the patient while they're trying, while they're still functional. That's my mindset. Where you at, Trav? Do you gonna check out what is it? Briggs versus what is it called again?
Drakes. The takes are Drakes. But it's called Heavy Metal. The mode is Heavy Metal.
Heavy Metal. That's a great name.
Yeah. And then, Trav, I never got your feeling on Marathon. I don't know if you can't talk or can talk or whatever, but just like, how are you feeling long term with the whole state of Bungie, I should say, in terms of, with Marathon.
I will have plenty to say about Marathon.
Okay, nice.
But for now, I can say, I think the last comments that we made about the company vis-a-vis Destiny not being in a great place, having an aging player population, struggling to get new players, I think all of that remains very true.
Yes.
Having a team that is now half the size definitely takes some of the pressure off because they're not burning cash quite as quickly as they were. But I still do think that there is a whole heck of a lot riding on Marathon with Destiny 3 being absolutely nowhere in sight. So I'll have plenty to say on Marathon. Not anytime soon.
No, fair enough. Yeah, I don't want to get you in trouble or anything, but yeah, it's definitely, that's how I feel. And it's just like I'm with Travis in the sense of like, it felt like that to me. It felt like there's a lot riding. So where are you at, in terms of, obviously we haven't done Last Word in a while, obviously you've been holding the torch and holding it down, getting us updated with
I don't know if I'd say it's currently a torch. I might be holding a book of matches, maybe. I'm not quite in full torch mode. I've been so busy in many other things, but yeah, I never even said what I've been playing, but half the stuff that you guys have, so it's pretty much the same.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like, no, for me, it's... the podcast actually did last week, because I was talking to, it's a girl, she worked at Game Informer, I think it was Game Informer, and then did reviews before, and we were just kind of talking, and she kind of dug into Destiny, and then I just like opened up. I was like, so she's like, what is the idea? It's like, so hold on. It's like, what do you know about the situation? And she's going, not a whole lot. I'm like, all right, I got to kind of explain where we are. So I had to go through like, past Forsaken, and then what was the expansion after Forsaken? What am I forgetting? Before Beyond Light. What is that one?
Haunted or whatever. The dark
Nightfall?
below.
You talking about after Beyond Light?
He's saying before.
Oh, before Beyond Light.
Shadowkeep?
Yeah.
Shadowkeep.
Yeah. Shadowkeep was like kind of where things started to diverge, and like, the other team got made around there, and then Beyond Light was like what was left of Destiny, and then Marathon was being built, and then you had the 3 other projects that got spun up in the interim, so you had 5 projects going on at the same time. Most of that failed. Gummy Bear's over with PlayStation, Marathon's a big deal, and Destiny's still staying alive. I go through all of that explanation, and I was like, so the idea that Destiny 3 might even be somewhere on a whiteboard is literally about it. Because that's, what Travis said. It's like, it is maybe an iota of an idea, but there's nobody to work on it right now. So that's the problem, is you have a lot of pressure from... we've seen the pressure and the failure that their live service bet. Whoever did it, we don't know if it was Jim Ryan or whoever. I saw even Shuhei Yoshida, though, said he was the one who signed on Concord. So it's like,
12.
It's like, it was way too many things at the same time. You have Blue Point not making, not even polishing up and remaking Bloodborne, but you have them making like a God of War live service, and we're like, what are y'all doing?
Complete mismanagement by Sony in these studios.
So it's going to take a while for Sony to...
I think making a Bloodborne would be a mismanagement, but...
Yeah.
I just feel like that would be... if you're going for a business decision, I feel like there's enough people who would buy it, though. At this point, there's enough of a...
I don't think there's enough people who would buy a live service God of War, as bad as that sounds to you and I.
As bad as it sounds, I could
it would sell. It would just sell to the audience.
Oh, Chris Proctor went to Guerrilla.
Yes.
Chris Proctor went to the Guerrilla to work on Horizon. I'm like, I enjoy the Horizon series, so I'm very curious to see what part of it is. So, I've really enjoyed those, the spectacle, and if he can either polish up combat or be...
game.
Yeah, it's like, if it's part of the online multiplayer game, I'm at least intrigued, because he's made some really cool weapons and been part of the weapons team, and we know how these weapons feel, so that knowledge would be at least something interesting. But yeah, it's like, you have a studio at this point that Destiny 3 not even in the picture at the moment. And if it was going to be, it would be 5 years away if they kind of shut things down, took the Destiny team and said, make Destiny 3, which isn't going to happen. Right. So we don't know how or when that may ever happen or may not. Marathon has a ton of pressure. There's a lot of speculation and rumor if you pay attention to news. Is the extraction shooter still a thing that people care about? Don't know. People could have said Overwatch kind of felt dead, and then you saw what Powerful Rivals did in the right audience, and that one kind of blew it up. So it's like, can Bungie
also
have...
important to say that, from my experience, most companies don't make the next big thing by chasing a trend. It does happen occasionally. Fortnite is the biggest thing ever, and it was because they chased a trend. And same with what's the shooter, the Titanfall shooter, Apex Legends. But I think that if there is no extraction shooter that is successful or that nobody cares about, I see that as more of an opportunity. It's a less crowded space. It's a chance for you to define the genre. Don't forget, nobody cared about shared world shooters either before Destiny.
That's a fair point. It's a fair point. I guess you're making a good point, because it's not a crowded area.
Yeah.
I just worry about the era. We're in this era of like the black hole game, where there's like 5 or 6 games that are just like taking everyone's time. And it's just like, man, how do you take time away from Fortnite? How do you take time away from Marvel Rivals?
You have to be an insane hit for... You either have word of mouth like Balatro, you have a history like Monster Hunter Wilds, and you make the next big one that breaks through.
Right.
And somewhere in between... Well, it's like somewhere in between, you make something unique, again, word of mouth, for something like Kingdom Come. Avowed, I've seen numbers, but again, it's always like player numbers on Avowed, so it's hard to tell what that success is. But it's like, I played Obsidian. I enjoyed my time in that one and had a good time doing what was in there. But so it's like, but as you said, there's people also stuck in 5-year-old games because they keep investing the money. And sadly, that's the smart business decision these people have made. It's like, buy all these skins, do all this stuff. Well, how much? I put $500 into Fortnite. Of course I'm going to play that. How are you going to make me forget about that investment and come over here and play your thing? And then the problem is, we saw Concord. Travis even gave it a 7, like, decent shooting game. I heard the people who played it, some people did enjoy. Some people didn't like the art style, which I am so tired of the internet's bullshit and art styles and all the other crap. Like, oh no, it's this, that, or the other. I'm like, do you guys have any idea how many games we have been through over the years that have had different art styles? It is a stylistic choice. Like, they're just because it's not the one thing you're looking for doesn't mean it's like a bad thing. Anyway,
not Concord's biggest problem, by the way.
No.
I didn't review the business model. If I did, that would have been a very different.
Well, and that's what I was getting to, is like the $40 price point. is
terrible launch, terrible business model, terrible
Mhm.
monetization. Like
Yeah.
all of that was so poorly handled.
Right.
And
Yeah,
that's the
that's the
big
second
issue
part.
is like, is Marathon going to be free? And it
I'm
doesn't
very
feel like
curious.
Sony does that.
Yeah,
Like,
I'm very curious about that. But in
so
Sony's defense, Helldivers was not free,
no,
right?
and that
And
is a
that became
one-off, and that's gonna
that. Yeah.
be
So that gives some hope there. But I think that the key for me is going to be you got to have. We know it's Bungie, so Bungie's capable of making something dope and appealing, right? We feel good about if they get their hands on something, their take on it will be dope. Now, do you have the long-term roadmap and infrastructure to sustain content and keep this satiated? If you do appease people with your first effort, people go, "Hey, this looks cool. I'm willing to try it." But you can't do the Halo Infinite and then you don't have any content and kind of thing. Because at its core, Halo Infinite was actually really good. I mean, people really enjoyed it. But after the model wear off and you realize, okay, damn, there's not enough to sustain it long term.
It
All right,
was
I'm gonna
just
go back to
because
these other games.
it was a great game with a absolutely abysmal live service model.
Correct, and that's
So
gonna be
bad
the
that
key.
they didn't even release any solo content. They ended on a
Correct.
cliffhanger. It was supposed to be like the opening of a game that never got
Correct.
built. It's crazy, man.
Yeah. It's
so. Yeah, I was like, I mean,
interesting time.
the pressure on Marathon has to be large. I don't know if
Yeah.
anybody quite, but I mean, Destiny at this point, I mean, we're back down into the 30s for player base. I'm looking at. There was a point towards the beginning of Heresy, we were like, okay, we're kind of doing okay for a little bit in the 40s or something. I was like, it had bumped up a little bit. The longer it's going to go on, we're going to get into that. You'll get your bump for next week. You'll get your bump on April 1st. Now, my question is, do you think Apollo hits summer, or do you think that gets pushed?
Man, I forgot about the new model. You just reminded me.
Yeah.
They do
So you
that
got
new
your
model.
6-month expansion.
Yeah.
Because we've tried seasons with expansions, we've tried episodes, now we're trying half expansions with not really seasons. Kind
Yeah,
of.
this is Treadwater phase. Bro,
This is post Endgame MCU.
Yeah, we're literally phase 4 MCU trying to make things stick.
Waiting for them to get back in their stride, figure out what they want to do. Yeah, it's just a lot of.
It's tough. The big
a lot of
bad
content that you're sort of like, why did this need to be made? Like, where's their next big push?
That's the thing. The big bad's defeated. Sorry, go ahead, Trav.
Yeah, and I remember, in previous times when I've taken breaks from Destiny, I've never really taken very long breaks, but I've, had a couple weeks or maybe a month here or there where like I didn't play a ton. I at least felt like real FOMO. Like I knew what was going on in the world. I saw people playing it. I don't really feel FOMO. Like I have not missed Destiny. I have not played it really at all, but I've not really felt like an itch to play it, which is sort of weird considering the last time I played it at length was the Final Shape, an expansion that I would describe as extremely good and gave a 9 out of 10.
Oh yeah.
I still think it's a 9 out of 10, but
bro, I still play Excision and get a little emotional. I'm like, it's a good
expansion, man.
This is peak.
I played it a ton. It was actually my most played game last year, which is funny because at the time when that like wrapped thing came out,
the wrap up,
the wrap up. Here's your most played games. At that point, I hadn't played Destiny in like 6 months, and so I was like not even thinking about it. And then I went and here's your top played game, Destiny, and I was like, damn. Some things never change.
I was surprised. I was like, that was the year I slowed down on Destiny, but Final Shape threw my numbers, skewed my numbers.
When a Destiny expansion comes out and it's the only thing you're playing for a month, that is
Facts.
way more time than you're probably going to be playing. Like, because I review games, so I usually play games for like 100, 150 hours at most, and then I move on. Destiny, 100 hours is just you clearing your throat in Destiny. I mean, really, that's just the prelude.
I remember in your review, you were like, bro, I got to get that gun called the call. The call is crazy. That's all you need. The call.
Oh my God, the call. Yeah, no, that's still on my, actually the sidearms with the rocket frame are still like when I log on, I'm like, oh yeah, those are still on my characters.
Oh yeah.
Still on all my characters. But yeah, I've not really missed Destiny and I see some stuff coming out like the dungeon. I was like, oh, okay, dungeon I would play, but I don't know, man. There's just a lot of really good games out there right now. I'm playing Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. I'm constantly reviewing games. I'm playing weird stuff that hasn't come out yet, and I'm just having fun with that. Destiny's not very high on my list, but I will say,
talk to me.
Very interested to see what happens with Marathon, and
Yes,
we should do a show.
yeah, I agree.
We might light up the campfire, just have a little different
Light
background
up the
image.
campfire and talk about Marathon a little bit.
Yeah.
Sounds like
some point.
we'll do that at some point. But yeah, I mean,
Absolutely.
literally, you have Split Fiction could be a game of the year contender. Monster Hunter Wilds, I've got 60 hours into it already.
Oh, yeah, how you doing? This is your baby.
Oh
You
my
love
god, I'm
Monster.
having so much fun.
You got to be having fun. This is
I
your
helped
baby.
with the review on that.
Yeah, you told me you
Nice.
were playing that a little bit. I'm having a blast. I do feel like this one versus World, I feel like I played a lot of. The format of this one is different, but I think it's more approachable because you play through phase 1 of the campaign, you hit the credits, and it was like, I know this isn't it. And then, of course, it's not because it went on for way more, phase 2 and all this stuff. I just hit Hunter Inc. like 55, 56, something like that. So I've gone through most of the side quests. But when it comes to like the crafting and the hunting monsters and tempered, honestly, I feel like they dropped a hell of a banger. And then I feel like they're just getting started because they're going to have an April update. I don't know what other monsters are going to get added. And whenever they do a Iceborne level expansion for this, I am so excited. The world is beautiful. The monsters are some of the coolest ones I've seen. Things from like Lala Barina, which is this spider mixed with a rose, and like the way it like dances around and springs on its feet. Just the movement of the monster. It's so different because it was a lot of like dragons and wyverns and birds before. It was a lot of that. And then you had like a T-Rex in there for Anjanath.
Yeah.
And then now we've got... just feels like more unique monsters. So many of the monster fights are cool. The big one that you kind of see in the promo trailers is a badass Arkfeld. He's just sick. And then there's even another one afterwards who actually, both of those can still kick my butt. Everybody else I'm pretty good on right now. But I really enjoy the loop and the progression of, as you kill a monster, you get certain parts. The new wound system, as you go in and you're like, say you're whacking like your sword away on a leg, and then you take a chunk out of the leg and you see like the skin exposed. And then if you get another couple hits, it shows like underneath the skin, like it's a wound. Then you can do your focus move, and basically whatever it is, like I've been using the charge blade. That was mine the whole time. And the charge blade lets me do like a double slash. And then when it like triggers the focus move, the charge blade has a move where it turns it into basically a spinning pizza wheel chainsaw thing. And just every time I'm getting wounds like ching, ching, krrr, ching, ching, krrr, and I'm just like mowing these
Explain the
things.
phrase pizza wheel chainsaw.
I mean, I think that kind of covers it. Picture a pizza wheel.
What's a pizza wheel?
Or the pizza cutter. Like it's a pizza cutter. Okay.
Cutter. Very good. Got it.
Cutter.
I'm with you now.
Yeah.
Pizza wheel chainsaw really threw me off.
Pizza cutter
Love
chainsaw
it.
thing. Sorry. But yeah,
Love
it's a
it.
circular chainsaw, but you picture a pizza cutter, but it's got little spinning blades on it. So it's a circular chainsaw. It's hard to, that's the best way I could describe it. So
I'm with you now. I'm with you now. Pizza Wheel Chainsaw was the name of my grunge band in high school. So I thought you were just a fan.
Yeah. So, I mean, I've been using that. I played 40 hours of the beta practicing with different weapons, and I made a video for every weapon. So I'm pretty comfortable. The bow, dude, if you want to go ranged, I highly recommend the bow because you can plink at range. They have the tracer arrow, which is just using the status bar, and you refill the status bar by like holding your charge, which you're going to be doing for your normal shots anyway. Tracer arrow. Okay. Did you watch the movie The Fifth Element? I feel like anybody our age has to have seen that. Do you remember the repeater? He's like,
yes.
And he's like, and then he turns around and fires at him and all the bullets go up. So you can fire tracer arrow, and then you have something called like the not 1,000 voices, but I forget what it's called. And it's like a spread of 5 power arrows. Monsters over here, I can turn here and they go shoom, and they curve all the way over. And then if you go to break a wound, you do this like big overshot with the bow, and then it turns around and does this like dragon piercer that like hits as it travels through a monster. So if you line them up like head to tail, it's like all the way through. The dual blades, when you do the focus mode, you do a couple shots, you slingshot up to the head, and then you literally cartwheel with your blades all the way over the spine of the monster, and one of the monster's pretty epic one, I won't give the name away, is one of the biggest monsters in the whole game. And if you can do the dual blade spin all the way over the top, it takes like 10 seconds to get from start to finish. It's the most hilarious animation ever. It's just, I really enjoy the whole loop. And then also it's like you get a certain part and then it gets into builds. The build crafting here is just so crazy deep. So, because you've got skills on your weapon, skills on your armor, and then you've got talismans that you can focus in a certain place, but then you've got jewels where you can go into other place. I have like 12 different skills that are active, all building into this build, and you can go a completely different way with it.
That's sick.
So there's just so much uniqueness.
Because Brad is Monster Hunter guy, he's telling me what's going on. I was doing Summer Sign with him.
Yeah.
And he said that
I was listening to something.
the only controversies now are like, I guess they're trying to be very narrative heavy now, I heard.
So
he was like, I just want to get to the fight. And then the second thing is the hardcore saying they love it, just like you, but they said might be a little easier than past Monster Hunters. Like there's not that we casualized it, but it's not as hardcore.
So I will say it's definitely, I do feel less challenged except on a couple of monsters than I probably have in the past. Some of that I think comes from the idea of like everybody sitting there doing a review on Monster Hunter, not everybody, but a lot of people doing a review on Monster Hunter or is deep into Monster Hunter. They have been playing these weapon systems that are like fighting characters. So if you've been playing Ryu on Street Fighter or you've been playing Paul Phoenix and Tekken for 5 games now, you know most of his moves.
Right.
You're going to have a couple new ones, a couple tweaks that you got to learn, but you know the moves. Then if you already know the moves, half of your brain is on muscle memory.
Right.
And then you're into the monsters, which they have some new and some old, but it's like part of the time is that muscle memory makes things easier for anybody. If you just give a brand new person Monster Hunter, they're like, holy shit, what do I do?
Yeah.
There are way too many systems and all this other stuff going on. All that's like, there's a lot. But once you get into the combat, it's trying to learn the weapon. Then when you understand the weapon, then it's understanding the monster. If you get both at the same time and you've been playing for a while, that curve goes really quick. Like you can jump really far ahead if you've been playing for a while. So even for me, like I spent like 20 hours on the beta. There's one Chotacabra. He's like the first little like kind of a frog lizard guy.
It's a cool dude. His tongue could be crazy.
His tongue is like, like really, he's like when he's tired, he's like panting almost like a dog, but he's so easy now. Of course he's going to be. Now Ray Dow, big lightning badass wyvern thing, you getting, caught with your pants down in the middle of an animation, you're going to get massively exploded by a lightning bolt. But it's understanding what moves. Some weapons are going to give you a little more mobility playing into them. Some weapons you can just sit there and hold block and take the shot. Depends on what's going on. And that's kind of the thing is like how far you get into your build. And some of the builds get really powerful. You can get a point where it's like, I forget the name of the perk, but you can block with some weapons. Some weapons have shields. Some don't, but some weapons you can. And there is a perk you can get where you can block unblockable attacks up to even a certain amount of damage. So there's a point where if you get that on there and you're like, oh, big one's coming. I can't move, but bam, and avoid most of it. And you've also got your Palico that can help you out. And as you level up through the campaign, your Palico is more powerful too. So if you're playing through as a solo player, your Palico's there to help you. It's your little cat friend, but they're like dropping heals and dropping cleanses and setting traps over here sometimes. And depending on how long a fight is, they might be healing you multiple times and all this other stuff. But I don't think that's bad overall, but it does mean like if you've mastered the idea of if half the monsters are new and half of them are repeats, for somebody who's played 2 or 3 of these games and put a lot of time in, the challenge may not be there. For somebody who's newer to the series, which is you have 1.3 million players on Steam, 8 million copies sold. Just like craziest game for Capcom in a hot minute. You get to a point to where the story is like up to the first set of credits. That is one big ass tutorial. That's what it is. It is a campaign tutorial. Story's a little goofy.
Okay, I got it. Okay.
And that's kind of what you're going through. Then you get into high rank where you're doing a little tougher fights and that kind of stuff that gets through, and you're working your way up through like second phase of the story, but you still have things going on. But now it's like, hey, raise your hunter. And then you'll get to a point where your hunter rank stops going up. Then you kind of got to go do a bit of a story beat, tougher fight, combination of 2 at the same time. There's some stuff they'll throw at you, and it just depends on where your skill is at. But for the people who are like reviewing the game, and the people who have mastered the mechanics, it would be like, okay, take Paul Phoenix through a PvE game, and you've been playing him for a while.
Onboarding a new person into
tech. Yeah, and it's like, okay, so we're going to give you Warring, and we're going to give you a PvE third-person action game. But the only thing you can do that's going to keep you alive is Warang's moves.
That's wrong move. So for me, it's muscle memory, half of it.
Yeah, and
then
now
you
you're
go,
just like, okay,
for the
we're
new guy, the onboard is going to be a little tougher.
Yeah, because then you got to learn the monsters and the weapons, and there's literally a training dummy. But I mean, it's like button combinations. It's like YB plus Y, YB. I mean, you're learning button combinations for these moves in the order.
For the moves, like a fighting game.
Yeah. So it's like, and the moves are on screen. You can have those on screen the whole time. Like it is a hell of a lot better than some onboarding I've seen, and I think that's why I'm okay with that, because when they do add title updates and more difficulty and then an expansion later on, they'll find a way to kind of challenge you. But I think right now, as a first step, it could be a little lighter, but I'm still having a blast.
No doubt, no doubt. Trav, real quick, are you playing Pirate Yakuza or at all? Because I haven't got a chance to get to it. I know I spoke to Hogue last time because he was telling me he was playing. He said he was going to speak to me.
I think that came out while I was in Tokyo.
Okay, gotcha.
That and Monster Hunter. By the way, if you've never been in Japan during a Monster Hunter launch,
it's got to be.
What was the crazy. So one of the dishes that you cook in Monster Hunter, which they're cooking in these games, is getting crazy now.
Cheese one, yeah.
Cheese naan. Yeah. You can cook cheese naan in Monster Hunter, and apparently it was selling out in Japan. People were going to get cheese naan at all these places, and it was sold out.
Yeah. Let me say, like, one of the things that is pretty jarring about Japan as a country is that in America, our culture is so big that video games feel like a very small part of it. Yeah. Japan is such a small country with very specific industries it does well, one of which being video games. The video games are like really at the core. It's like their music, right? Like you see
that's
it
dope.
everywhere. Like you're on like the train, and like the progress bar to like when you're gonna get to your next stop is like Pikmin running around.
That's sick.
Like, stuff like that where you're just like, wow, dude, like video games are like
so ingrained.
They're just part of like the monoculture there.
I mean, they're home of PlayStation and Nintendo. I feel like that's
it makes
sense. Like
like
you see games and stuff like everywhere, and you know,
also like arcades and what is Konami? This like what is their gambling machine that they do?
Yeah, like I was seeing like middle-aged women on the subway just like playing their Switch, and I was like, man, that's like pretty rare in America. Like, that's a very specific type of person.
My wife plays Tetris 99 on the Switch, and she does quite well. My wife is damn good at Tetris. She kicks my ass. Yeah.
Did she get the what is it? The Flight of the Valkyrie?
What's that?
When you get to, do you not know that when they get to top 10, it starts playing Flight of the Valkyrie?
Oh, she gets top 10 frequently. Yeah, she's won a couple times, but she's top 10. Every so often she'll be like 6, 5, 2, and I'm like,
that is the game that will get my heart rate up more than any other.
Yeah,
like
that's the time.
So nerve-wracking when you get to the top 10.
Like my Dark Souls fights when I'm in the other room, like this, damn it. Like that's what I hear from my wife in the other room. She's playing Tetris and be like, oh, damn it. No.
Dark Souls fights are low stakes compared to a Tetris 99.
No, I've watched. I've seen how fast that stuff goes. It's So no, she's damn good at
honestly,
Tetris.
Like the beauty of Dark Souls is almost like a cozy game in that it doesn't really matter if you die. There's not really.
Cog, is Dark Souls a cozy game to you, sir?
Cozy, yeah. You go ahead with that. Put that in my life.
It's cozy in that like the stakes are so low. Like you die and it's like, okay, I have to walk 5 feet to get back to the boss fight.
If it's a well-made game, it's 5 feet. Poorly made or older Souls games, you had a bit of a
then the stakes are, I wish this game was better designed. That's pretty rare.
That was one of the worst parts of Demon Souls. The remake was gorgeous, but then when I figured out the design to get to the boss was you started at the beginning, you had to go halfway through the level every single time for Demon Souls. Oh man, that was fun. So yeah, Monster Hunter Wild's been busy. Beat Avowed, beat Eternal Strands.
Nice.
First Berserker, that one comes out the end of this month. I'm really excited for that, actually. The first Berserker Kazan, the Souls one, it's like anime.
Yeah, the style looked dope.
It's Ben Starr they had him come in and do the voice acting like I don't know if he redid the voice lines or what, but he came in to take that over. But the style on some of these like animations and stuff, and the opening of the demo is there's a sword. What is he? Sword Phantom, I want to say. And you end up fighting him and end up like pairing with him as like kind of a means to an end, like the enemy. that fight and the cinematics and that stuff in that are freaking insane. It is so over the. It's very anime, and I'm not an anime person, but it is so over the top. And I think the first Berserker or Kazan, whatever title it is, I think that is an anime, but I don't know it, but I think it is.
That's cool. That's cool.
Yeah.
Oh, real quick, I never got Trav, your rating of the Star Wars armor. We never got that.
Oh yeah, we never got that from Destiny. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Okay, so the Star Wars emotes emotes and skins and all that came out I think a month ago, something like that. And I was hit up by Bungie. They were like, "Yo, you're the guy.
I love this.
Here's all the silver you'll need. Go buy it." So I bought everything that you can buy that has the Star Wars crossover stuff with it.
I will say between like the Stormtrooper and then it's not the TIE fighter. Which fighter is it? What's the ship?
It is the TIE fighter.
Okay,
yeah.
I forgot. I thought it was something else.
I will say let's start with that because I do think it's the weakest. The TIE fighter is very bad.
Really?
Yeah, it's very bad. Yeah,
they don't even have. Do they have a sound effect when it travels or anything?
I don't think it does. It does. Yeah, it's missing the sound effect, but also it barely looks like a TIE fighter. Like it is very small. It kind of looks like a Lego version of the TIE fighter. Like it's just got this really like puny jet in the back, and I mean it's cool that they put it in there at all, but it very much feels like they didn't try very hard on that one.
They cashed that with it.
They kind of were just like, yeah, it's close enough. Like, let's go. And I don't know if that's like like there was some limiting factor in like the way that ships are designed, or them having to appear in cutscenes or take up a certain amount of space or whatever. But like, it's very puny and awkward looking to me, and it kind of is more evoking the TIE fighter rather than actually being like a replica of it. But I do think that that's the worst one. The Ghost is probably one of the best parts of it.
What is it?
For those who don't know, it looks like the second Death Star. It looks like the second Death Star, so it's partially destroyed. But the great part about it is that when you scan things, it shoots the laser.
I saw the little green lasers come together.
It does the try thing and shoots the laser, and it makes it makes the Death Star laser firing noise. The three chamber ignition. So that one's that one's pretty funny. The emotes are fine. I think one of them is a lightsaber duel with multiple people. I think maybe that's the only one.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Is that the only one? Yeah, that's the only one. That one's okay. Pretty good. They make some lightsaber noises. And then the armor, which I think we can agree is like the meat. It's the most expensive of the stuff. Is mostly good. I'll start with the best one, which is the Titan. The Titan got the best. Why? Not because I'm a Titan simp. I would be honest if they're sucked, but it's just a Stormtrooper. It's classic. I don't know that it should have been the Titan's outfit.
Yeah, I mean,
I
fit y'all. You know, just crayons and just not accurate. Run out there and do the
not accurate with shooting. No, it's just that it's I wouldn't really say that like Stormtroopers are known for being like big, strong, you know what I mean? Like there's some of that where it's like we're talking about the class that goes down in one shot of any size. Like it just feels weird for that to be the Stormtrooper, but I think it works for them. The belt is really good. Honestly, the problem with the Stormtrooper outfit is that if you're using any of the exotic equipment, like there's just no way to make that work unless you're using the exotic belt, and then you can kind of make it. You know, you can do a white thing, but it's very good. It's funny, and it unlike the TIE fighter ship, it actually like is a full on like replica of the Stormtrooper armor. It matches it perfectly.
Oh yeah.
Then we'll move on to Warlocks, which have the second best armor. They are the Praetorian Guard, the Imperial Guards, who are featured throughout many of the Star Wars movies. Theirs is also extremely good. It also works pretty well for the Warlocks because it's got kind of that robe effect. The red is also really a shade of red I don't think we've seen a lot in Destiny, so it kind of gives it a unique. I will say that is something about this I've noticed is all three of the armors look best with no shader on.
Yes,
And
I
so
don't
if
like
you're
putting the
somebody
shader on.
if you're
I
somebody
like
that
it
puts a
red.
shader on it, it just makes it look worse. Like I
I
tried so
agree.
many different shaders on Stormtrooper to
Same.
try to give it like a glossy or whatever, and it's just like, no, dude, it just doesn't
Leave it
look
as
good.
is. It's made
Leave it
they
as
made the
is.
OG for a reason.
Yep.
Yeah, the only thing I put a shader on was the Stormtrooper armor. I didn't put a shader on the Stormtrooper armor, but my exotic class item, I put a shader on it to make it fit in with the rest of the armor.
Gotcha.
Because because I was trying to make it
butt towel.
not look as out of place. And then the final one is the Hunter, who definitely got the short end of the stick. I don't really know what Bungie's. I don't know if it was a strategic thing or maybe they were only able to get the license for it, but they went with we're just going to do troopers, like, or you know, the Imperial stuff, right? Because they got TIE Fighter, they've got the Death Star for the Ghost, and then all three of the armors are different Empire trooper style, and they got the Death Trooper, which is a super cool class. Honestly, that one might have been better for the Titan if you're trying to stick true to it, because they already are like bigger and considered like more deadly. They're not like the agile or clever or tricky one. Like that's just not them. They are more like stationary and just have like big guns. And also they famously never in Star Wars have capes, which to me is the biggest is the biggest thing. It's like there are so many things in Star Wars that have capes. Mandalorians? Anyone? They have jetpacks and capes.
Yeah.
Like why would you not do that? Like it's just so weird to me. It's so weird to me that they didn't do like if it were me. Yeah, I would have been like Mandalorians. They have jetpacks and capes, and they've got the swag, and you could do kind of like the Boba Fett helmet.
Yeah.
Maybe that would be better for Titans.
Also said it might have been a license thing, maybe with Mando.
It might have been a license thing. I don't really understand it. But I would have done like if it were me, I would have probably given Titans either Mando. The cape doesn't really work with that, so probably maybe a Death Troop or something like that. And then I would have made Warlocks like a Jedi or something, Jedi robes. You can kind of do something like that. Yeah, and then Hunter something else. But yeah, it seems like they're in a world like obviously Hunters should be scoundrels. They should be Lando Calrissian with like a cape. Like that's the obvious choice. But
yes.
I don't know what you do.
I mean, Mandalorian would also be theoretically a hunter too. So I feel like that you said it already. I feel like that works.
Yeah. I think Mandalorian makes sense.
Mandalorian, Jedi, and then Stormtrooper for a Titan, and Stormtrooper eating crayons. I mean, literally, you just nail in the head on all three. I think you kind of covered it.
Yeah. So but the fact that they chose Death Trooper and then added a cape, it like does not look like a Death Trooper. Like it just doesn't. It's like vaguely like you're like, okay, I get what they're going for, but like, dude, they are SEAL Team 6. They would not wear anything that did not have a like total utility function, and it looks weird on the Death Trooper. So that one I was pretty disappointed with, unfortunately, especially since like as soon as I saw the crossover, I was like, well, Hunters will be Mandalorians, obviously, and then they didn't do that, so just so weird to me. But yeah. I would have liked a Lando Hunter, something like that. You give him like a yellow cape or something like that. Some like really just cool swag. Anyway, I'm not a fan of these crossovers, as you guys know. I do not make an exception for Star Wars. I'm not like suddenly changing course on this or whatever. But if you're gonna do crossovers, I think this is pretty good. I give him a B plus, maybe something like that. I think. Obviously, the TIE Fighter definitely could have been workshopped a little bit.
You didn't comment on the jump speeder.
The jump speeder?
Yeah, they got the little the Ewok.
Oh yeah. I did get that. I can't remember what it looks like right now.
Repulsor fit. I'll send you a link.
Yeah, send me the link. I don't. I'm not. It's not coming to mind right now. I did ride around on it though for a little bit.
Yeah, if you hit in the middle of the article, they call it the repulsor lift jump speeder. I believe that was a joint when they was on Endor. And they was doing this.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, I did use this. Yeah, that one's also pretty good. It looks pretty spot on. I think
it's just one of those strong. I like that from you. I like a B.
Yeah, the problem with the repulsor lift speeder is that it's not that recognizable as a Star Wars thing, like unless you really know. And it also looks like so many Sparrows we've seen. Like it sort of looks like a blue sparrow, like a blue rarity sparrow. You know what I mean? Like it's like okay, but I don't know what else they would have done because it obviously should be the Endor repulsor lift speeder. So yeah, I think they did a pretty good job. I don't understand the thought behind making it all Empire themed. Maybe they have a light side version planned down the road.
Yeah, this could be the part one. Yeah.
Who would be on the
I doubt-
light side? Because obviously you'd have a Jedi for a Warlock. That might be where that fits. But what about your
you
other
could do Mando
two?
on that one too. Mando,
I guess Mando.
technically-
Mando's
Yeah.
light side. Yeah.
And then Titan, you could do.
Do light side Titan.
Let's see. What would be an obvious?
A Wookiee.
one?
Hey yo.
Make him hairy.
Hey yo. That's just disrespectful. I'll be slandered, but that's disrespectful.
What? That's like they're huge. Like I was thinking a big.
A Wookiee as a Titan. That is
Couldn't
wild.
really do bounty hunter. I don't know. They would need something with like a little bit more identity. I think you could do. You could also do like a more like Jedi warrior. They have Jedis with armor, like Clone Wars era Jedi, like Obi-Wan in his Clone Wars armor, something like that. They could go with that if they wanted to.
I was trying to go something noticeably different of the three. That's all.
My theory behind why they went full Empire is because they needed an excuse to give everyone helmets because a lot of Star Wars characters don't cover their face. And it's like, okay, well, if you're Jedi, are you just having your character's face shown under a hood? And I would have said, yes, do that. That sounds great to me. Like, because we don't really have a ton of, well, I guess we got like what the cowboy hat where it already shows your face. So it feels they kind of already have this problem. But yeah, if you make the hunter like a Lando cape wearing outlaw, then the question is, well, what's the head piece?
What's the head?
Yeah.
I love that we got him. I mean, this is a monumental moment. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the fact that he got him to contribute. Yes, and we love this. I guess what I'm curious now about the history. This is such a unique collaboration. Like Bungie reached out to like, how did the collabo work? Like, this is a very and the timing
that's like
of it.
through Sony to Disney. That's an interesting connection.
Because Destiny was partially inspired by Star Wars. I think they said Star Wars and Harry Potter were the two like things they were trying to put together. As weird as that sounds.
And I guess I was interested because I
Based in
felt
magic,
like Star Wars didn't have anything. Maybe you guys correct me. Is there a new Star Wars thing out to promote right now? The timing of it. I'm curious.
No.
There's nothing going on.
I mean, Andor season 2.
Dead year. They've got Andor season 2, and then they've got Mando and Grogu, which I think has been delayed, but it was supposed to come out later this year. And
it was like they did Skeleton Crew recently, but
there's always a million things happening in Star Wars, but they're things that nobody except for me cares about, like the fact that High Republic is having its like finale to its main story arc this year, which is all books and comic books and stuff. So
did you like Skeleton Crew? Somebody asked.
Skeleton Crew's good. I liked it. I have some criticisms of it. It wasn't like a 10 out of 10 story.
I'm happy to see Andor coming back because
I
that first
thought
one
it was very cool. I thought it was cool that they're trying new stuff with Star Wars. It had its own unique flavor and identity, which was very awesome. I loved the like mystery of what was happening with At-Aten and that planet and all that stuff was really cool. Andor is peak. I mean, that is 10 out of 10 Star Wars. So
Watch that. I have not watched
especially in our current
the Stellan Skarsgård. So like, there's two.
Andor's about to hit different this year.
I will say like. Yeah, well, Andor that, but I was also saying the production budget on Andor is out of this world. Though I saw a little preview for the second season, but even the first one, I'm just gonna say the word escape. Does that know what I mean? Or hijacking? Does that make sense, Travis? What I'm talking about in Andor season 1?
Are you talking about the heist?
Heist, yeah.
Yeah. So there's a heist. But
Andor like the visuals of that heist, because it's like there's an event going on in the world, is beautiful. And then also you have something like,
even if you don't like Star Wars, you should just watch Andor.
Yeah, it's
because
I'm just super casual, but I like Star Wars.
Yeah, no, it's worth the watch. And then Stellan Skarsgård's like 2-minute monologue is fucking awesome.
I have sold people that don't watch Star Wars on Andor. I've just been like, just watch Andor, and they're like, all right, tell me about Andor. Why should I care about it? I go, okay, the first 3, it's 4 acts in 3 episode arcs. The first one is a war story in Star Wars, super like grim, and it's actually kind of a murder mystery. The second one is a heist arc. The third one is a war story in Star Wars, super like grim, and it's actually kind of a murder mystery. The second one is a heist arc.
Mhm.
The third one is a prison break.
Mhm.
Oh,
And the
that's-
fourth one is like revolution/war.
Okay.
They're all self-contained, amazing, like
Right.
peak television.
And this is
And
canon timeline
Yeah.
pre
Yeah,
after.
yeah.
it's before
after?
Rogue One.
right before Rogue
Oh,
One.
okay, okay,
It
okay.
is technically a prequel to Rogue One, which is a prequel to the original trilogy, but it's like the Empire's in control and the central focus is on the idea of rebellion
Got it.
and resistance
Yep.
and
Early seeds.
yeah,
Okay.
politics.
Seems to be fitting
and-
for right now.
Yeah.
What?
Current climate.
Yeah.
Art
Yeah.
reflecting.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying
I'm
like,
waiting for the comments, guys. I know the comments are coming, so yeah.
I rewatched Andor during the election season, and dude, it hit way different.
Oh, man.
I was like, dude, this is
That
like
is like,
so.
whoa. Too
So
close to home.
Andor season
Too
two
close to
could
home.
Not
Yeah.
be coming out at a better time. They're also doing incredible things with books. I, on my honeymoon, finished a book called The Mask of Fear, and it's a Star Wars book that takes place in the Andor timeline, and it's about the early days of the Empire, and like it's all focused on like Mon Mothma and like the political climate and the eroding of democracy and like
Mhm. Oh boy.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. Anyway,
Oh,
back to video games and stuff. Yeah.
It's great.
But yes.
I'll watch
So
it. I just got it queued up. Disney Plus. I'm seeing it right now. I'm queuing up.
I think one
oh,
thing.
that is one to watch, dude. It
Yeah.
will shake you. It's so good. The first 3 episodes are a little slow, but
I need a new series. It's
Yeah,
time.
3. I was gonna say that. Did you ever watch Daredevil on Netflix, Cog?
I gotta catch up. I gotta catch up.
Man,
I watched the first episode of Born Again.
Woo, good.
I haven't watched that, but the preview I've seen alone, man, I will just tell you, like Charlie Cox and
That's my man. I love the
Vincent
originals from Netflix.
D'Onofrio.
D'Onofrio. That's my man for Spartacus too.
I love their chemistry. It's like so palpable.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I got the wrong Vincent. Sorry, wrong. Yeah. Not him. You're right. D'Onofrio. That's my man from Full Metal Jacket from way
Full
back
Metal
in the day.
Oh man, yeah, I
I
was
was
like,
about
he's
to
older.
say, dude, you can't just bring up Spartacus like some of us aren't Sims.
Oh,
for
they
the old
coming
Spartacus.
back. You heard Spartacus coming back?
No, it's an alternate
How-
timeline.
Yeah, House of Asher.
Yeah,
That's gonna
dude.
be
You
wild.
think I don't know this shit, bro? Spartacus
gonna be
is
lit.
legit, dude.
What? Can't
Yeah.
wait. We had a good timeline.
No,
right
that's like a great idea, but it does make me wish that the original show had ended different so that this
no.
could be more
Could be
canon. Because there
canon.
was no reason for them to
There's no
kill that
reason for
character.
it. Yeah.
It was stupid.
He's such a scoundrel. Asher.
He's the best.
He was.
He's the best.
There's
dude.
so much
Mhm.
good TV, I cannot keep up. I
can't
mean, there's
keep
too
up.
Oh
many.
yeah, I don't even try, dude. My friends tell me like you have to watch the show. I'm like, no, I don't.
It's like,
And people
you don't
telling
want to
me
know one that
about-
I really want to watch because I actually just got done rewatching John Wick 4 with my wife. I finally got her through the whole series. I got her through John Wick 1 through 4, but it's Shogun. I know that's going to be a
everyone's
freaking
telling me that
amazing
though.
show. I know it's
Yeah.
going to be an amazing show, and I
And
still
there's
haven't
a
got to
new
it yet.
one that Colin and Gina telling Severance or something.
Oh my god, yes.
People are telling me
That's
this is
not
like
new.
No, okay, so
genre-defining.
I got my wife to start Severance because I watched it when season 1 came out previously, and then the writer strike and everything. It took a while for season 2. Season's 2 finally here. My wife is like, "This is the most confusing show." She's like, "It is a show where like nothing happens, but I can't stop watching." And it is the weirdest thing that is like oddly compelling. I don't know. It's like, believe me, I'm with her too. It's like it is hard to describe to anybody, but it's well done.
It's high concept television. That's
Yeah.
always like a tough sell. But I think Apple TV they've
Apple's been killing it.
they've been trying new stuff, which I think is way more interesting than what we see on some of these more established services.
Well,
where
like
they just-
Shrinking definitely surprised me, but that was actually excellent.
Still haven't watched them. We did watch all of Severance on the plane, 12-hour flight.
I
to
will tell
Japan.
you,
Wow.
Travis, I think, well, one, Shrinking has Harrison Ford, so there's
I
nothing.
know, I know.
And you got Jason
Heard good
Segel in
stuff
there.
about it.
It's like, it is one of the most, like, it's just an oddly real show, but, like, the writing in it is amazing. But I will tell you, like, the end of season 2 for Shrinking, there's a moment in that one that's kind of like one of the moments in Ted Lasso, and I was just like, this is just, I don't know, it's just like raw humanity, but it's just so well shown. I don't
Yeah.
know. It's just one of those moments
That's
that
one of
sticks
those
with
shows
you.
I'm sure I'll never watch, but it looks and I have no problem believing it's good. There's a lot of television. I play
It's too much.
40 video games a year from beginning to end.
Well, that's kind of the same
So-
thing as like, oh, you want me to watch like 3 seasons of? I was like, I'm gonna go play one 40-hour game. I think I ended up putting 60 hours in Avowed or something, and then I just got a key for something else, and then there was something else going on. So it's just like, I can't do it all. I want to, but I don't have enough time. There's just me.
Yeah, and they give me the long games that take a ton of time
Yeah.
to review.
Hey, at least you didn't have to review Kingdom Come.
Oh, dude, that would have been crazy though. Imagine how
Crazy.
fun that would have been. I was reviewing a different 100-hour game at that point in time. I can't remember even what it was now. There was some
So many
game that
games,
took.
It's like, what would have
So
been
many
there?
games.
Because
We'll
Kingdom
look it up.
Come. I'm looking. I'm trying to think what was major then.
But
Yeah.
Out Sanity's talking about John Cena's heel turn this year.
I heard about that.
Yep.
Crazy, dude. Crazy.
Insane. One of those moments you
Agreed.
had to be there.
Agreed, man.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I think it was Avowed. Was that the one
Yeah,
I'm
it
thinking?
was a
of?
vibe
Yeah,
KCD
I
around
put
the same
60
time.
into that. I didn't get to
Or
100, but
I
I got.
did not put 100 hours in that game. Probably more like 60.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
That was a big one. I think that's
That
what I
was
was
a big
doing when Kingdom Come was coming out.
I was. Yeah, I was enjoying exploring and just wandering into stuff, and then combat started to click in. And I will say, of everybody I asked though, I asked what happened to your second major city.
Yeah.
I haven't had anybody get my reaction, but I don't know so far. So
Oh, the Emerald.
I'm not even on the second map yet, and I've played like
I won't
80
talk about
hours.
it. Okay.
yeah,
We'll wait
Because
for
I
the
do
whole
everything.
package.
Like I did both both of the quests that get you to the wedding. I did both of them from beginning to end before I went to the wedding. I was like, I'm gonna do the entire Miller route.
Oh, you're
and
talking
the
about Kingdom
entire-
Come.
He's talking about KCD too. Yeah, I know he's talking about. I
What
was
are you
doing the
talking
same thing.
Avowed.
No, we were talking about Avowed.
Avowed.
No, he was talking about because I played both, so I know where you at. I'm doing the same thing as you, Trav, in KCD, which is. Did you do the thing with the old guy that had that talk like this that tell you to throw those bastards over there with the pole? Don't get the pole.
Yeah, the rivalry.
What is that dialect? I have no idea.
He talks
Yeah,
like,
I think he's got a lisp. He's like
he got a
Mr.
lisp. They put
Oh,
a guy
man.
with a lisp in a game. It's awesome.
And everybody makes fun of him.
Yes, it's great.
Did you resolve it? What was your ending?
My resolve was the dude who's guarding the pole liked some girl, and then I got him to be like, yo, I'll watch your post and I'll get you to hook up with a date with her, and I resolved it
Sounds
with
so
the family.
much dirtier than it probably is.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's definitely wild dirty the way that just
Wait,
sounded.
really? So did
Yeah.
who got to keep the plot of land?
I got them to resolve it because I found some history of who really owned the land, but you had to have a literary skill. You had to get you had to go get some skill to find out old Latin to find out who truly owned the land, and then I got them to resolve it with all. But it was like all six.
We ended up at the same place with very different ways to do it. Like I was painting bulls and stuff like that, but we ended up resolving it using the nail on the tree. Yeah. So
Yes.
Same thing.
And it was very obscure to find that stupid nail, and I was just like, I was getting on my nerves, but I found it. And then but to
I just assumed they wouldn't put it in the ground. I was like, that doesn't make any sense. So I immediately started looking at the trees.
Yeah, it was a bit. And then E, to your point, apologies to the cops. The Avowed thing, you talk about the second area,
Yeah.
and the decision on what to do with said area. I'm
That's
assuming.
the third area.
Oh,
No,
okay.
no,
No,
second area
that's
is
the
more
second. No,
standard.
no, that's the second area. But there's a
Talking about
decision.
the second area with the attack.
Yes.
I avoided it altogether without knowing that that's what I was doing.
Same thing.
Same with me.
Yeah.
Because I saw dudes in the cave being shiesty.
Yeah.
Like, y'all ain't got no business being here. And I
all
was like,
all
hold on,
gone.
we go-
All gone.
I walked in before I had discovered the quest line that has you like go there if you like find the mole or whatever. Before that,
Yeah, I
walked
just
in and
randomly
was
went
like-
in there because I think there's a
I walked
treasure
in
map
there
that
and I
took
was
me
like,
across the
Steel
creek.
Garrote, I'm gonna kill these people for no reason.
Yep.
So I killed them. So yeah, yeah.
Oh, that's
I will
funny.
say
Like
it
most
was
of
pleasant.
a couple of the people I asked had not. Everybody was like, did not have the outcome that we had.
got it on Podcast Unlocked, and
They
everybody
lost it.
else got the bad ending. Yeah.
I didn't know there was a. Oh, wow, that's
Basically,
crazy.
well, yeah, I was like, yeah. Just imagine if things go poorly there. That town is, how do you say, inaccessible?
inaccessible. Yeah.
Yeah.
I will say it was
Kind of
kind of
inaccessible anyway,
refreshing to
honestly.
hear Savathun as the Inquisitor. What is it?
Yeah, that
Because
was
of
fun.
Yeah.
Nodwin.
She did a good
It was
job.
good.
Yeah,
Character kind of
she did well.
She killed
Good
that.
job.
She killed that.
Well, as we've gone to half a variety podcast, as this tends to be
yes.
anyway.
We're back to variety
Hey,
again.
that's about as much Destiny as I can get out of you guys, and then we just
Exactly.
randomly fall off. But no, honestly, this was fantastic to catch up with you guys. We still talk, but it's just like putting together a podcast. I try not to do this to you guys too often, but we will try and do it every so often.
Yes.
I may still post random stuff on the channel. Maybe I catch up with like Scarrow or something if it's Destiny things, if these guys are busy. But overall, we still enjoy chatting. Just when it comes to variety, it's like every so often it's fun to catch up, but trying to make them repeat everything every week's a bit much. So that's kind of where we're sitting on it. But anything else you guys want to say? I guess as we wrap up,
I'll give one wrap for the Destiny guys because I don't get a chance to geek. The only reason why I still play, I'll be honest, is Weapon Skybox music, right? So Weapon, I want to shout out Psycho Pump. I like that.
Oh, that's the one area of denial.
Area of denial, lightning. I love you. You got that perk, Rolling Storm. I love that perk. You get the bolts up, that kind of thing. And then I want to shout out. I don't like the trace. Was it Lodestar? It's okay. Oh, yeah. I know what I want to shout out. Shout out. They made Queensbreaker great again.
Oh, I heard about that. Queensbreaker's a monster.
Oh my God. I can't believe
Queenbreaker is like DPS.
Is DPS. They did it. Both modes are dope. I got the rewind rounds joint. Shout out to y'all on that. And that was pretty much it. As far as my little weapons geeking out, that I was like, all right, these are kind of fun. But other than that, same old stuff.
Yeah. Travis, anything else for you to wrap this up?
Yeah,
you got a whole lot of stuff you can't talk about.
Yeah, basically, I can't talk about anything that all the stuff I can't talk about is already out there, so you can look at my recent reviews. What was my most recent review? I did something after Avowed. Was it Avowed?
I feel
I did something after Avowed. Maybe not. Oh, I think I just did a bunch of previews. I did a preview for an upcoming JRPG called Atelier Yumiya, which is the first Atelier game that's coming to Xbox, which is going to be pretty cool. I did a preview for what was the other game I previewed that week? I did a few in a row. But I've got a bunch of previews up, and then I'm doing a bunch of coverage that will almost all of it be coming out closer to GDC or after GDC, and I'll have more to talk about then. And then I think my next review was supposed to be happening this week, which was the Hobbit Shire cozy game. That got delayed while I was in Tokyo, like at the last minute. It got delayed again. And so I'm not sure what I'm supposed to be working on this week because both of my bosses are on vacation.
There you go.
Tom and Dan both took off at the same time, right? I'm just sort of waiting for them to get back to see what my work is there. But I've got plenty to work on in the meantime in the preview side of the house. And if anybody's going to be in San Francisco for GDC, let me know. I'm going to be around.
Man, I would love to go. I'm making a trip out a week before, but I can't go back to back.
I want to go, but it's so expensive.
I know.
Jesus Christ.
I would need to crash on your couch for it to even be like practical.
You guys know my couch is open. I said anytime you come to SF, just hit me up.
Yeah. Right. I gotta see the flights. We'll see. But I'm tempted. There seems to be a lot.
GD seems like it would be so cool because it feels like it's like the right vibe that I would want to go to.
Hotels aren't as expensive here anymore, but I mean, there's still.
I was like, it's San Francisco. It's probably not going to be cheap.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. And then shout out for anticipated games. Altars, like I said, EB, you were talking offline. I want them to give a
that's going to be like it got delayed. I know. I love the demo too. As soon as I played it, I was like, I need this whole thing right now. But yeah.
Yep. South to Midnight for the one level I played. I'm really hyped for that. And Expedition 33 looks amazing. So
I played that. I got to preview that.
Damn you.
Oh my. I have not played a turn-based game in so long. It is the perfect turn-based game for me.
How's it looking?
It looks so good. The music is phenomenal. You love music? 100% will like hook you in. And the acting, there's one little clip I'd like even showed my wife. There's one clip like the raw emotions, like Charlie Cox killing it. And then I can't remember if it was Jennifer English or Christy. I forget her name.
Got a girl from Baldur's Gate in it.
Charlie Cox
Charlie
is
Cox from Daredevil is in Expedition.
Yeah, Charlie
33.
Cox, Andy Serkis, but Charlie Cox is Gustav.
Very cool.
But no, the combat is turn-based, but you've got live reactions. So if they come in, you can parry, you can dodge like in their attack, and then if it's a big group attack, you can have everybody jump and do a counter. If it's like a big smashing AoE attack, you can have your team jump in the air to dodge it and smash back. And you've also got like real-time like actions, almost like kind of like Mario RPG from the old days where you'd get perfect timing on hits.
Okay.
So, and then there's also like a free roaming gun where you can take like one of your action points, but you can go shoot a critical spot with your gun as part of your turn and do a big chunk of damage. The scenery is gorgeous. It is like, it's a turn-based game that I'm 100% there day one, which is not so much my thing. But I was like, I love Chrono Trigger, but I haven't done turn-based in a long time. I'm not like Maddie does it probably constantly. This one is no, it was like, and if it's the right thing, but this combat is so engaging because every attack you're like, if I'm doing an attack, I got to make sure I hit my timing right. If they're coming in, and the thing about it is, if you can go after something more powerful than you. There's like a side weird puppet thing that I found, and and he whooped my butt on the first try, and I was like, you hit way too hard, but then if I could dodge or parry just about everything, you can punch way above your weight. So if you can get if you can get the skill in there, you can, no, I played that preview and I was like, holy crap, this is so good.
A draft for games this year. And,
like
for review scores.
Yeah.
And Expedition 33 is on our list, and I fought to like pick it earlier than they wanted to, and I was like, guys,
they
trust me.
You're gonna win.
Oh yeah, we're easily gonna win.
Every preview I saw, I loved that game.
Monster Hunter Wilds, and then we got Expedition 33. We got what else. We got like a few that are already 90s. I was like, we got Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, I think.
Oh my god.
It's over.
We're about to games.
I don't know if anybody else can hit that high all year long if you got those from the start. No, I will say Claire Obscura, Expedition 33. Ooh. The visuals on it are gorgeous. The acting so far is just extremely well done. This small French team punched massively above their weight. There's a little bit of, it's somewhat linear, but there's like a fork in the road. And then if you explore, you got a little bit of platforming to go find a couple of things, but it's not too bad. But it's like, when you get into combat, it's very engaging. It's probably going to be somewhat linear, but then when you get to this, like, I don't even know. I almost would describe it as almost like third-person isometric diorama for the overworld map that you're walking around. Yeah, and then you get into stuff because I know at some point in the preview there's this character. It's like this big blimp guy, and he's insanely powerful because I think he's one of the oldest things in the entire area, and he's like going to travel you around. So I don't know how big the game is. I think they said it was probably around 30ish if I remember right, because I think it's like $50 game. Man, please put that on your radar. Like, please, just on your list, whatever. It's in end of April, right?
Oh, yeah.
Because then Doom is May, and then South of Midnight's April 8th. So it's like end of April, I remember from the Xbox Dev Direct. No, it was, I played it, and I was like, holy, because I was hoping it was going to be good, and it was. And I was like, yep, so good. But no, there's one thing where it's just like, if you enjoyed Charlie Cox and Daredevil, there's one just line, and I was like, oh, damn, gloves are off. Like, it's on. So it was so good. Also, I don't know if I can show it to you guys, but I might try. So
nice. Hype.
Yeah. So Claire Obscura. Sorry. I know I got distracted, but so good. I got to preview that, and it was so good.
Fire.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, distractions and everything. That is a nice 2-hour podcast, which we turned it into as we usually do anyway. My wife was like, how long's it's going to be 2 hours. I was like, yeah, probably is. It's what we do. Gentlemen, chat, anybody who listens right now or in the future, you guys have all been amazing. Cog, it's been too long, but again, I'm always catching up on Duke.
Yeah, man.
I tried a little with ILP, but there was a little bit of slander there. I couldn't quite handle some of the
being ridiculous.
I can't quite some of the ridiculousness. Like, all right, I can't even take y'all seriously. Nothing but love for King, but yeah, sometimes I'm like, whatever. Yeah, it's like his character kills me for you guys. And then Travis, of course. I'm glad to see your wife dragged you to a vacation. I know it was painful. I know it was so difficult for you to step away, but we're proud. We're proud you got one.
Just for a little perspective, she also did not like it.
You guys are horrible. But you're two peas in a pod.
We both had fun. We were enjoying your company. We liked being out there, but we were also like at nighttime being like, "What's going on in that Slack?" Oh man, I got work FOMO bad. Yeah, dude, she's
cleaning up those emails.
Workaholic as I am.
Cleaning up emails so you get back. Yeah. All right. Well, you guys have all been amazing. Thank you very much. And for episode number 315, we're still alive. Podcast still exists. 315. It has been
the last word.